Today on Pomsky Tales, I am joined by Scottish, Trungle and Artic discussing positive world news because there's enough negativity going around in the world. We wanted to show some and talk about some positivity. Now, obviously, we are going to talk some random shit as well. It is just a group of friends having a chit chat about some topics. Let us know what you think, if you have any positive world news that you want to talk about, and what your views are on the subject we talk of today. I hope you enjoy.
Artic was saying just before you joined about singing, and you said around the world, and I really wanted to go around the world, around the world, around the world, around the world.
Yeah, I'm actually going to have to tell myself off to not randomly start singing a song.
I had to get that off my chest. So.
Listen, if the earworm takes you, go with it.
It's not the earworm, it's the stem worm, and it does not help.
Parasites, they speak to me.
The brain.
Parasites, excuse me.
Yeah.
There are things in this
parasites in my brain.
Understand.
We want
answers.
Scottish, have you ever
fucking answers?
Scottish, have you ever watched Ghost Adventures?
No, I don't think so. But I was thinking of Marcus the Worm.
Watch it. No, watch it now.
So Scottish is coming to the next movie night, and we're just gonna binge watch a season of Ghost Adventures.
Is it going to be me streaming it?
Oh, is it?
I feel like
Zach Bagans.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen clips of that before.
It's great.
Is it a bit like Most Haunted?
yeah,
It's really the same, but American.
yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I'd watch that.
It's great.
It's literally that, but American. And the intro is hilarious.
Got that on my list then.
Is it the one with the Goat Man Bridge? I mean, more than likely.
It is.
More than likely.
Wonder.
Thank you, Artic.
Very welcome.
I will bring
finally
up
fixed
the stream after this match. I'm
Yeah,
playing
no,
the new
that's fine.
Star Wars stuff in Fortnite. It's really fun.
Ayo.
And, okay, I've got a
Put it up
positive
there.
thing actually. If
Go on
you
then.
wanna,
Positives of the
quickly,
world.
yeah, I just gifted Artic a bleach skin on Fortnite because he really wanted it, and
That's kind
I
of
didn't.
you.
I know. It's
Hell
a
yeah.
nice little
Aw.
deed for a friend.
Okay, so what things have we all done recently for someone? That's just a nice gesture.
That.
Artic, what have you
yeah.
done recently?
What have I done recently? I got Kim a gift
Oh,
for
I
when
mean,
I
that's
go
pretty
down.
good.
It is because before I even got with her, I got this from Costco, and it's turtle chips, like a Korean chocolate churro kind of thing. And I had them ages ago, and she was going nuts that I had them. So I've got some for her when I went Costco a few days ago. She doesn't know, so shh, hope she's not here.
cheers. She
She's
said
being
she
here.
shouldn't have got him.
Oh yeah, she did know.
I love
Never mind,
that.
I forgot I told her. She went nuts at me,
I'd love a Costco.
and
that'd
that is
be
a
great.
positive. I like when she gets angry at me for doing something nice.
Best kind of anger.
How about you,
That's
Scottish?
kind of angry because she can't decide whether to be mad or happy.
That's it. I can't think of anything specifically that I've done for anybody.
I mean, you're a mum and
Yeah,
Partner.
yeah.
Like,
There's, yeah.
I feel like that's
They're
never
not
ending,
well
right?
again.
Aww.
Yeah, so I've been looking after him even though I'm still sick, but it hits him so much harder because of his immune system. So it was cute actually. Yesterday morning I got out quite early with Cub because he wanted an early breakfast, earlier than usual on a weekend. So I went down with him, and then I did some tidying, and then we came upstairs and he wanted to run bear bath.
Aww.
He ran the bath, I changed the bedding, and then It was just so that if Bear had the choice to go back to bed if he wanted to. But he ended up just going downstairs and hanging out on his computer for a bit. And then I made a big ass cottage pie.
Oh,
Ooh.
cottage
That's
pie.
it's his favourite food. Well, one of his favourite foods when he's really not well. So I was like, fuck it.
Thought you were about to
That's
say
so
Emma, then
nice,
I was about the twinsies.
I'm
Oh,
saying
I
cottage
love cottage
pie
pie.
is so good.
I've got some
Mhm.
downstairs.
Well-
I've still got to go get it, yeah.
I love cottage pie, right? But because Bear loves it with onion and garlic, which I can't have,
Oh.
I made the whole dish just for him to his liking. So he's literally got a massive pie that he's had like 3 portions out of already.
Oh,
But it's one of
Yeah,
those
Ted, he's had
things.
2 bowls today.
He's honestly had a bowl last night, I think, or was it? Technically, he had a bowl for his breakfast this morning when he was first up. Like, he had a great time. Oh, he had 2 bowls, yeah. And Cubba's been very sweet. Yes, he's been very good. So
that's
guess that's
exactly
my-
what you want.
my thing.
Yeah, honestly, that's like looking after your partner.
Hmm
That's just nice enough as it is, isn't it? Really. Right. Some
mean, it's one of
people
those
don't
things you-
even.
Yeah, it's something that you should be doing in a partnership, but it
Yeah.
is nice when it happens as well. You know.
I think it's one of those things that we take for granted. That like your partner is there to help you, care for you, and
Yeah.
all that cute stuff of above.
All the cutesy shit.
Yeah.
What about you, Pom?
I was just trying to think. What have I
You
done?
got Telly's from Miracle Bro.
I was thinking, how far do I take this? I've got 18 plus on there. Well, it was our anniversary, so he laid out some cute stuff for me. We had Ferrero Rochers, so he was really nice and kind to me. Ferrero Rochers, the cherry crack and rum, and some black rose petals. Awesome. Were everywhere. That was fun tidying up because we were both shattered afterwards. He was like, I thought this was a good idea at the time, but now I'm tired and we've got to clean this up.
In hindsight.
Yeah. We were like, it's okay, we'll do it together. But because we had just such a good weekend, I guess he gets rewarded in his own ways.
Yes.
That a male can. For all the good things he did. I'm very happy he made me.
Well, that's it.
What else? I mean, I guess I do all the driving, considering he doesn't drive at the moment. So 2 hours there, 2 hours back from where we're going. Guess it's not. I'm trying to think. Have I done anything more specific?
I mean, you could talk about what you've got planned for the future, you know, what you're asking me about before.
Like, what good I'm doing for him? What do you
I mean, like,
All the BJs.
you know what you've got.
mean?
Yeah, I'm not necessarily on about the good you do for him. I'm on about the good you're doing in the future. You know exactly what I'm on about because you asked me about it before, about if I'm free in June.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's true. Regardless of telly, charity streams.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Hell yeah.
Actually, I completely forgot about that. I was
Yeah, I
thinking
remember
just
you
of
talking about
partners.
that a while ago. Was it like your animal charities and stuff that you wanted to
Yeah.
look into doing?
So, on, I think I posted it in the Discord about oh, what's it
Whatever,
called?
because it's in
It
my chat.
was, yeah, I posted it in Discord about this charity that
The
was
Norway for Wales campaign.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was doing like 6 games for like $2.99, and you could gift as much money as you wanted above $2.99 for the games. But yeah, I am going to be working with them to do a charity stream at the beginning of June, to help towards whaling, dolphin and whaling in Norway, I think it was. Because
Would you like me to put it in gamers so people can see?
it's alright. I think we'll post some stuff nearer the time as well, so I need to sort that out.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that's just going to be fun. And honestly, like, the company is about whales, dolphins, the ocean. And I am someone, like, don't get me wrong, people are lovely and all. But the animals of the oceans, like, they didn't harm anyone. They didn't do anything. And all we do is reduce their population, use and abuse them. And I feel like they deserve better.
Hell yeah.
But I'm obsessed. I used to be obsessed with dolphins, and always found it so confusing and so horrible that people would poach dolphins for like their fins and dolphin soups and stuff like that. And this one's focusing on whales as well, but it is kind of just marine life altogether too. Like, I've thought about a few different ones before, but I feel like ocean life is a big thing.
And it ties into everything in nature in general, because people don't realize how much, if you screw up, like, the ocean, it can also affect, you know, say, like, the seagull population or whatever seabirds that are, which then can affect the land population, which then can affect the forest populations. It's like a knock-on effect for some of them. So
Massively, like, everything is very interlinked. Like, the only way everything works the way it does is because of everything working the way it does. And if one thing starts to decline, then it has a knock-on effect of everything else. Bear did put positive news. Scotland earlier this year passed a new regulation to ensure all new builds have some brick bird nests to help endangered birds. That is amazing.
Aww.
That is so cute.
I didn't even know about that. I love that.
I know that a while ago when I was really into bats, and I was part of a bat conservation thing, and
Oh, a while ago.
well, yeah, they were. I know. If it weren't for my job, I was looking into bat handling. So you would go around to bat boxes, counting how many species of bats, and how many bats are utilizing the bat boxes, and stuff like that. But I think because of my job, it'd be too risky of contracting anything from the bats and then going straight to work. Very unlikely it would happen, but at the same time, it's adding risk upon risk. So I was like, probably not a good idea. But the amount of listed buildings and new barns that are built that have to have requirements for bats, and there's often, when they build new housing estates, places for bats and birds to nest, which I think is amazing. Like, they should be doing that full stop, really, shouldn't they? Like,
I love that.
Without a doubt. We need to be thinking of our wildlife.
Thinking of more. We do. And going back to the sea and stuff, I learned something not too long ago, actually, that we all know we need to be, like, saving the forests and stuff, right? Because, you know, the trees, they, you know, take in the CO2 and all that stuff and pump out goodness for the world. But what's just as important is, like, the sea, you know, like the coral reefs and stuff, because they do exactly the same thing to a more extent as well. So it's like, sea is just as important, if not more important, to look after, because, you know, it helps our ozone layer and
Massively.
all the goodness and stuff. And Yeah, I was surprised to actually learn that the other day, and I was like, that makes sense. You know,
That does make
people
sense.
talk about like the trees and stuff all the time, but you know, in the same thing, we need to be doing stuff for the sea as well.
Hmm.
We went to Sea Life Centre. What was it? Aquarium. That was it. And they were saying how even the sharks are being affected by what's it called? Is it like when they scrape the bed of the ocean to collect things off the bottom?
Hmm.
Like shrimps, crabs, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sea dredging. That
That's what-
there's a type of shark that's starting to become endangered because they'd get captured and hurt. But obviously they're not wanted, so they're discarded. But they'll be damaged from the nets, so they can't actually survive properly afterwards. If not, they're just killed there and then. So, like, it's stuff like that, like ocean dredging and stuff like that, that should be regulated somehow.
Mhm.
Oh, big time. It's amazing how much of this stuff isn't regulated properly, or at all.
Yeah. And then there's some things that are just extremely regulated beyond imagining, like, just to ridiculous amounts. Rather than
Yeah, rather than like super important stuff being regulated, governments and stuff around the world are regulating some pretty stupid things that
yeah.
don't need as much time
Yeah.
on it than
It does not need the money or time.
actually think. Yeah,
Oh, this
That
is
is-
it.
let's put some more money into good, please.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
literally.
The stuff that's actually gonna keep us alive in the future.
Dan made a good point. What's his name? David Attenborough's 100 on Friday.
Oh shit,
That's crazy.
that's mental. That there's one of the stories that I put in the Discord list earlier that I wanted to say to you is about. I'll have to put the picture in your general chat in Discord so everyone can see. But it's
Yeah.
basically a photo that won an award, the Nikon Comedy Wildlife Award, and it's a picture of a confused gannet. It's a type of bird, coastal bird.
Why was he confused?
He was confused. You'll see in the photo if you want to have a look in general chat. I can't really describe it, but it's basically he's a bit windswept and interesting. I just saw it. I saw him on the. I just typed in good news and I was looking through different articles, and I saw it and I was like, "That's totally." I feel like that's on brand for a lot of different birds. It caught my eye mostly because gannet is I don't know if it's down south, but it's a Scottish slang word for greedy guts.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, like, oh, you're a right gannet these days. And I could just imagine him like stretching out his wings, ready to fly off and get some food, and then that thing plonks him in the face.
That's just luck, that is. Get
Yeah.
a whiff of freaking grass in your face.
Yeah, he was probably just like, what the fuck? It tickled my brain. What was the other one? There's another one I had where there's an article that came up where a cathedral in Bury St Edmunds in Suffolk came up with a concept to show how warmly it welcomes furry friends. So the marketing manager have said, we've always been dog friendly, but we haven't really pushed it as much. So what they've done is they got some of their congregation to bring their dogs in, and they got the dogs to pose for various different pictures for a calendar.
Ooh.
And it is absolutely adorable. I'll pop it in the link in general chat so you can have a little look at the different photos that's in there. I thought it was perfect. I love the Scottish Terrier in the thumbnail, but you scroll
Scottish
down.
Teddy. Oh god. Let's have a look at this. Oh my goodness.
I love the goofy
Dog
husky.
friendly cathedral.
So they've not added all the photos because obviously it's like a fundraiser they're doing with a calendar. But they've just added a couple of their input in it.
Everybody. Here's your go. No, look at the doggy. Waiting for a
Look at
dog.
him.
Cathedrals welcome canines. Aww. The Edmonds Canning's dog friendly town. Dogs truly are a man's best friend.
And they're great. I bet they were absolutely loving the attention.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like I think dogs in like care homes and stuff like that is, if they're not allergic to,
Yeah,
a great idea.
There's a few places, I know there's some in England, but there's a few in Scotland now as well where they've got like a designated befriending dog that'll come around different care homes, and the dog will have been trained for somebody with a disability or something like that.
Yes.
That might have been a dropout, because when you've got a dog that's like a seeing dog, or a dog for somebody that's got autism or whatever, they need to reach certain standards, and if they don't quite meet it, then they're classed as a dropout.
Yeah.
But these dogs will then go on and do other jobs. So like going to care homes and things, or working with kids in schools. It's quite cool.
And I would love one of those dogs. I keep seeing it and I keep looking at it being like, because they're well behaved, they're still trained, they're well mannered,
Yes.
this, that and the other. So they do make the perfect dog. It's just they weren't good enough to hit the requirements they needed. And I'm like, that would be perfect. Like, the dog's already sorted
it.
for you.
Exactly. And the thing is, when you're wanting to buy a pet, whether you're adopting or whatever, you know that money is going to charity to essentially pay for another dog to get trained.
Yeah,
For somebody
exactly.
who's really going to need it. It will be pricey because it is a trained dog, but it's always worth looking at like any local training centres or any shelters that work with the training centres to rehome these dropouts. Because they're all sweet dogs as well, and they're all hugely considered for their breed and things like that. So 9 times out of 10 they're going to be family friendly as well. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
And like the amount of pets that just get discarded now as well, like,
yeah.
but people
It's a
still keep
shame.
buying them for like breeders and stuff. And I'm there being like,
Mhm.
we have enough dogs in little kennels and stuff that
There
need looking after.
So I've worked with a few dog charities specifically with dogs, and there are now breeders that are working with charities. Essentially, like, look, they're researched or trained or something or other, where they are wanting to breed characteristics out of dogs.
That's
So
interesting.
there's a couple that I've been seeing in America have popped up and been like, where we've got pugs, but we want to breed out the squish nose, essentially. It's ethical breeding. Is what
Yeah.
they class it as.
Yeah, that's a good
And
point.
they've got like the top licensing, top vets, all this kind of stuff, and basically trying to, like, the pugs that have flat faces, they deserve the love. The ones that are here, but it's also more ethical to breed that out of them because it's
Oh, yeah.
humans that did that
100%.
in the first
Yeah.
place.
Like, it's so bad
Um,
for them, isn't it? The fact, like, they
yeah.
have so many health issues from it.
So
And
many health issues.
It's a shame to just let the pug breed, just as an example, it's a shame to let them go extinct as a breed, because they are lovely dogs. And it's the same with things like German Shepherds. German Shepherds have got an issue with hip dysplasia. And with ethical breeders, that could be bred out of them to where they're maybe bred with a stronger breed, or, you know, there's a lot of people that are like, want pedigree dogs, but the pedigree dog themselves, you know, they might have had somewhere in their lineage that wasn't a pedigree. And, you know, there's a whole mixture now that we've had so many generations of domesticated pets.
This is it. Didn't their nose not used to be as squished in their face.
Yeah. And there were a
And,
lot
like,
more.
Isn't it a
pronounced.
lot of like inbreeding and stuff like that that's caused it?
Yeah, it's the same with the Frenchie. Like people really enjoy, for some reason. Like it is funny when they're snorting and grunting and whatever. They are adorable dogs. I just feel sorry for them.
Yeah.
Because I know what it's like to have a blocked nose for a couple of weeks when I'm sick. I can't imagine having that all my life.
Oh,
But they are
that's-
lovely dogs.
just makes you feel bad for them, doesn't it? As
Yeah,
you say.
It's to the point now where, like, or that people use it as like a fashion statement, and it's
Yeah.
that's always annoyed me. And I'm just like, you're not actually thinking of the dog. You're just thinking, oh, people are gonna find it cute and stuff like that. But just think of the suffering it has to go through every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
But
how
it's
it
good
can't
that
breathe.
there
go
are
for a
breeders
walk.
out there that are like, I've had this experience as a breeder. I now have all this training into dog breeds and things like that, and characteristics and genealogy, and they work with animal-based scientists, and are like, right, this pup from this litter has got good characteristics that will do well in the next generation. We'll keep a hold of this pup specifically and use them in the next breeding round, rather than breeding the same pup over and over and over and over, because that's when you get issues for the poor mum. They look at, right, this pup will be old enough in the next few years to maybe breed the next generation, and then, because again, dogs don't live that long, and
No.
Mhm.
they can have large litters, so it can happen very quickly if it's done right.
Yeah, that's true.
And that way, any pugs that are still in the world that have that poor wee squished nose, they can just carry on living their life, and then the next generations will be able to breathe a bit better.
Which
There's-
definitely need, and people need to just stop being so gullible and stupid and just think of the animals' welfare. Like, what really wound me up when we went to the zoo is I was there being like, right, I go around zoos and stuff like that thinking, is this a decent sized enclosure for the animal in question? And like, it's like a little mini game I play in my head when I'm any place like that. And I'm there being like, yeah, this isn't bad. Yeah, this isn't bad. And then the smaller the animals were getting, the way smaller the enclosure was getting. And I was like, And then we had one guy, I think he had a younger family. And he was like, you pay all this money, you can't even see the animal. Like, you thought they'd make it so you can see the animal more. I'm like, what? Do you want to put them in a 4x4 square or something? Chain them
Yeah.
up? Like, they're freaking animals. If you can't see them, that's probably because it doesn't want to be seen. Like, it's probably just taking some time out, like, doing its own
Some things they
thing.
just need that. Yeah.
Like, it's an animal at the end of the day. Like, you've paid this money to support the life of the animal, not to see it and torture it.
That's it.
Unfortunately, you're always gonna have entitled people
Yeah.
who think because they paid this money, they deserve to see the animals that they want to see
Yeah.
at any cost and stuff, and it's
I feel like I
I've just seen,
recently heard that LA had banned what's it called? LA had banned chimpanzees from being a house pet.
Holy shit.
And I'm like, it only took till now.
Wow. Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
that makes a lot of sense, I guess.
Because, like, I think
LA
it's
at the
because
end of the day.
I get so many Michael Jackson things on my fucking feed at the moment. But one of them was he used to have a chimp.
Yes.
yes, it did. Wasn't it Bobo?
And so that chimp is apparently still alive today. And it is in a zoo, I think. And so they were saying how, like, now, like, that's just not allowed anymore. Which I'm like, that's just great. That honestly couldn't have been better, because you really should not keep freaking chimps as your pets.
I like that, Dan. Thank you for your contribution.
Monkey business going on here. I know. I keep trying not to laugh at shit. He's put a link in the Discord for a
I did see the link. I was trying so hard
Was it?
not to scream while you were talking.
I know. I saw it. I was like, oh my goodness. Fucking Pomeranian.
I love Pomeranians. I think they're gorgeous dogs. They get a really bad rap, but it's again they're bred a certain way and they're not trained properly, but they are gorgeous dogs. That is a gorgeous dog in that link. Holy crap.
Oh,
Little Pomeranian. Could you imagine that with a husky coat?
yeah.
Like the pattern. Oh my god.
Pomsky. But then I'm there being like,
Dunno.
is that like, you have to think when you do these things. I mean, not everybody does, but I think, is that allowed? Should that be allowed?
Yeah. Is it kind of like, is it actually ethical to have that?
Yeah. Like, should I
you'd
be
have to
promoting this?
prove-
Should I not be promoting this?
I mean, it depends on the health, overall health that are known about Pomskys, but it's like, for me, I know it's a weird way to go, but for me, it's like, okay, which breed is mum, which breed is dad, and how the fuck does that work?
Yeah.
Because huskies are pretty big, and it's like that. If that mother's the Pomeranian, poor fucking mother.
Yeah, literally.
I just seen Bear put something in about polar bear DNA.
Oh yeah, positive news, bad news. I heard last week too, polar bears' DNA is adapting to warmer climates. Now,
Ooh.
this actually, like, this ties into a lot of the stuff I found of positive news, but is it? Like,
Yeah,
that
I
is
have to.
so sad, the fact that it's had to adapt to the climate change. But at the same time, that's amazing news that it's managed to adapt to climate change. It's
is
really
amazing.
like a double
That's,
negative in it.
That's kind of scary though as well.
Yeah.
Because out of all the bears I'd least want to come face to face with, a polar bear is number one.
Yeah, that's true.
While we're on the subject of animals, there was another link that I found. A relaxed dog has fallen asleep and snored his way through his 40th and final session as a blood donor.
Oh,
I did
wait,
not
there's a
know.
doggy donors?
Yeah, I did not know there's such a thing as doggy donation.
No, me neither.
You can take your pet in. I don't know if it's like, I think it's certain, I've got the link here. It's certain charities. It's in Northampton, and the dog's name is Sharwood. Sharwood's blood has saved the lives of 160 dogs.
Wow.
That's insane.
And any dog that's signed up with the charity, they donate blood until they are the age of 8. Obviously, with
Healthy.
dog years, they get to
Yeah.
a certain age and things get a bit more risky. But the charity itself was set up in 2007, following a change in legislation which permitted the collection and storage of animal blood, so obviously with transfusions. Since then, we've seen thousands of dogs and donors every year, and Sherwood is the first to have done 40 donations, which is amazing.
That's a lot. That is a
amazing. That's a
lot.
lot of donations, yeah. If you're thinking like, we do blood drives where I am, and they come to the island maybe once every few months throughout the year. You can go in anytime you want as a human, but obviously with pets, it's a different story.
Yeah.
It would be amazing if people knew more about it.
That ends up being my next question is like, again, is that ethical to do so? Like, yeah, it's helping other pets, but does that pet won't understand what's happening, right? Are they
Well, that's the
sedating
thing.
him?
I think that's what I thought as well. I crossed my mind. It's like, well, if the animal is very clearly stressed around vets and needles or whatever, obviously don't be taking them. But it goes back to like the consideration of, are pets ethical in the first place?
Well, yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's like, we've domesticated them. We have a responsibility to just look after them.
Yeah, that
You
is
know?
very true.
If you can't have a pet, you can't have a pet. That's absolutely fine. But as a human race, we have a, we have to look after them. And I don't, as far as I know, you can't use human blood for animals.
Yeah, no, I don't.
If
Probably not.
I think they've used maybe pig's blood before for animal transfusions, but animals are the same as humans in that they have blood types, and obviously if that blood is rejected and it's just a generic blood they're using, then that can cause complications. Some animals, they go in for surgery and they don't make it out, sometimes because they don't have a transfusion for them. And I feel if your dog is quite happy to get a needle poke every few months,
yeah, that's true.
I guess it's one of those things, isn't it? But I totally get what you're saying.
Just think of the treats that dog got afterwards. He was a happy boy or happy girl after those blood transfusions.
That is more than likely true. That is true.
The fact that he actually fell asleep in his last session.
Actually, yeah, that's a good point.
I put the link in the general
shows that
chat.
he's used to it.
I put a link in the general chat, and you can see him. If you scroll down, you can see the proud boy with his little bandana and his badges, and he's got a little hamper of goodies.
Oh.
Yeah, that boy's happy.
But the fact that he's saved 160 dogs just with his donations.
Yeah, because
with his owner.
I didn't even know that was a thing, and the amount of people that must never have known that was a thing.
I was like, whoa, it's pretty cool.
Like that should be more widely talked about. The fact that dogs can go on donations.
The name of the charity. Oh, it's literally just called Pet Blood UK is the charity.
Pet Blood UK. That is insane.
I love his name is Sharwood.
Sharwood.
Sharwood. It sounds like the sauce. You know what I'm on about.
Yeah. I was thinking the cheese, which is Sherwood.
Sherwood. It's very Nottingham, Robin Hood style. It's a Sherwood Forest or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nottingham. Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought that was super, super cute.
That is amazing. That honestly blew my mind with that. My animal news was it's for very random, but it literally just came across my feed that Costa Rica has been the first country in Latin America to ban sport hunting.
Ooh.
So apparently this used to be a law, but it kind of slipped, and they reaffirmed it early this year. That makes hunting for trophies and leisures permanently illegal, and they're being more strict on it, which fucking fantastic. Stop sport hunting. I mean, I don't mind it for like population control or disease control.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
But when it comes to like animals,
only time.
yeah, exactly. Like when it comes to animals that have no need to be sport hunted, like why kill things just for sport? I mean, I guess I'm not a sport hunter, so that's probably why I don't get it. But yeah, I don't get it.
The thing is, you're not special, and this goes out to any sports hunters or anything that may listen or may not, probably not, but you're not special, and you're not big, you're not like
big, you're not a big bad man for having a rifle.
You've got a gun, and you're gonna shoot an animal.
An animal
I would love to
that's
see
defenseless.
a sport. Completely hypothetically, this is just a fantasy. This is all in my brain. What I would love to see is bad people pitted up against some of these animals.
Oh,
just to see who's stronger, the man or the lion.
The man or the lion, yeah, exactly.
100 men versus 1 bear.
Oh. I feel like I read something recently. There's a state in America or something like that that's brought back public hangings for people that have been confirmed to be like sentenced for stuff. Yeah, like when they've like proven solid proof that they have been committed a crime, like a severe crime that's gotten basically like life imprisonment or incarceration or whatever, that they will like publicly hang them basically,
Mm,
and brought back
I
the
was
death
seeing
penalty.
changes about that in the news. Yeah.
And I mean, I
I'm-
think
I'm
that's
always-
fucking fantastic.
I'm always
I've just-
funny about it because it's like there's a very like middle ground grey area.
Yeah.
But if it is a situation where it's like without a doubt, yes on all counts, have at it.
That's it. If you
Have
can
at it.
100% confirm and they have literally said, yeah, I did that, and they're a proud cunt about it, then hang them. I
Yeah.
literally have get that person out of this world. They don't
Yeah.
deserve.
I just read in your chat, what about fishing? Does that count?
Yes,
I'm
I
gonna
did
say-
think that.
I'm gonna say no because
You put them back,
here's my
right?
points. You put them back, and yes, it is stressful for the fish, I'm sure. However, there's two kinds. People fish for either food or they do it for leisure. But in that leisure, you're practicing skills used for survival that you may need in the future. Whereas sport hunting, you're just killing an animal, a majestic animal. You know, I've seen
Yeah.
people kill like lions and stuff.
Majority, like the vast, like 99% of people that go and do this are incredibly painfully rich. They
Yeah.
don't need to
Oh,
be
yeah.
going. Donate your money to the conservation, or go to the conservation that allow these things to help with population control, because you can go and pay and do that if you want to, but don't go paying freaking back market weirdos that are poaching, because it doesn't make you any less of an idiot. But absolutely, I feel like with fishing, it is a skill, and if you're looking at the world today, which we're trying to avoid, it's one of those skills that may well need to come back.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that I've actually thought about doing with bear and cub at some point, because I know the basics of fishing, but I've never been fishing, and bear has been, and cub, we want to give cub that experience. So, you know, you can get the license, which goes towards conservation of the area, and obviously permission. And then if you are, I think some licenses allow you to catch and keep where we are, which then I would bring to my in-laws, and we would make a dinner out of it together as a family. If it's a catch and throwback, then that's fine. We wouldn't be using hooks, because obviously that's damaging them, but we will be using lures with, it's not like the sharp hooks, but basically it catches the fish's mouth, and you know, you're able to lift them out of the water. But when I was a kid, we used to love going and playing in the rock pools at my dad's house, because he lived near the salt water, and we could go down there and take our nets and sort of scoop into the little rock pools and just see what kind of little fish were living in there before the tide came back in. And every time we'd go out, there'd be different kinds of fish and different shrimp and crabs and all sorts of stuff going on. It was great to explore, but it can easily be done without hurting them,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
preferably with the least amount of stress.
I think that's the main thing, isn't it? Is making sure that they're all looked after and cared for, stuff like that.
No,
Then-
dear, not against you. Not, you're fine. Just a bear in general. I
yeah,
can see this message.
yeah, not personal
I
to you,
do?
Bear. Don't worry.
I
Then
took it as very personal towards you, Bear. They're lying. Don't listen.
I was thinking regarding what you were saying is like, fishing being a survival skill, right? To play devil's advocate, wouldn't hunting be classed as a survival thing? Because we would have to know how to hunt in the
Yeah,
wild
100%.
and kill
Hunting
animals.
hunting is a good thing.
Mhm.
My thing was trophy hunting is not because you're just doing
Yeah.
it to kill the animal. Whereas hunters, like I've got quite a few American friends, and I've got one friend in particular. His name's Morgan. He goes out regular and he hunts deer and stuff, but he takes that deer, you know, he knows what to do with it, and he eats it. You know, like he provides for his family that way sometimes. But that's a skill.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like yes, it's done for leisure and for fun as well, I guess, you know? Like, but at the end of the day, most hunters are taking that back and eating it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're making use of
Like,
it.
pretty much most, yeah, pretty much, I'd say 99.9% of hunters that way are taking that kill
Yeah.
back and
And
eating
that's
it.
huge, like in Scotland in general, but mostly in the Highlands because we have such vast areas where you can hunt, and there are some gorgeous areas. There's quite a few estates now. There's been a lot more legislation brought in for managing all, but like my granddad, for example, he was a hunter, and he would go down the estate not far from where we lived, and they would all come together, and the pheasants were wild pheasants. And every so often they would have to cull them because they'd breed so thick and fast, it would affect the other animals in the area. So they would go down and they'd be like, we'll take so many out, and then they would all get taken home. All the men that were hunting, they would all get taken home, prepped, cleaned, cooked, and it would feed their families and things. But it was something that was done as a community effort. And it's the same with deer. Way back when we were younger, and I'm sure when Bear was younger, there was a lot more deer around. There was less, even when my grandparents were younger, less housing, less roads, usually more deer around. It's a lot more restricted now, but I think with the difference between hunting things like deer, rabbits, whatever, is different to hunting animals in like the Sahara, because at the end of the day, fair enough if there are locals there that are like, this is a problem lion affecting our village, they handle their business. But I feel like here it is a different version of handling our business, because at the end of the day, if you're letting deer breed and go wild, there's going to be so many accidents on the roads, there's going to be issues in housing areas, which again is a human situation, a human-made situation. But at the end of the day, it's not like they're going out and just killing random, young bucks and things like that. It's ones that they've watched and monitored and things like that. And it's like, right, this one, they're older, leave the young ones to be able to grow and breed and things like that. So there's a lot to it. There's a lot to it. But I totally get how there can be the question of, well, why is this different to this?
Yeah.
I just feel like I don't feel like there's any. I don't know.
It all comes down to the trophy for me. Like most of all, like the trophy hunters, they do it and get like
They
whatever
do it for the
from
game,
it.
don't they?
And,
The sport,
yeah, they do it for the
head.
they do it for the so-called sport, and you'll just see them posing the dead animal.
As Tal
and then...
said in the chat, they don't.
Yeah.
The trophy hunters don't use all the animals. Sometimes they'll take, if it's like
Exactly.
They might take the lion's pelt and leave the rest of the lion, or if it's a rhino, they take the horn or whatever as a trophy.
Yeah.
And it's nothing. It's not like they're using it as survival. I think we should all know how to be able to hunt, with or without guns. I'm not a big fan of guns personally, but I would love to learn how to even just learn how to prepare a chicken.
Yeah.
It's one of these things. It's
life
so
skill,
simple. That's it. And I know how to grow vegetables.
Yeah.
I don't know how to take a full-on live chicken and turn it like safely, turn it into something that I can pop in the oven, because I was never taught that skill.
And this is a good point, because it makes people respect their food more.
Yes.
Like knowing how to do something, and then knowing how to prepare it, what goes into actually, what goes into actually getting a chicken as a chicken and eating it, right? You gotta do everything to it. You gotta defeather it, pluck it, cut it up, and like just everything.
Yeah.
You've got to
the more you understand about that, the more you can appreciate where your food comes from.
Oh yeah. I think that's why I knew a lot about like fish specifically, because my dad, living on the west coast, they always got fresh fish from the pier from my uncle. And they always brought it home, and then my gran, I hated it because I hate dealing with with like full fish with their scales. I don't like the texture.
Yeah, no.
But she taught us how to flay a fish and clean it and debone it and everything like that. She didn't have chickens or anything like that when she had like the farm area. It was mostly vegetables, and she had fruit bushes. But that's how I learned how to do like crops and things like that. But it's one of these things where, again, looking at the way things are going, we might need to learn how to keep a couple of chickens just to have some eggs, which isn't a bad thing. Not everybody will be able to, but if there's a community willing to like put together a community garden where they can help raise, like what people used to do, help raise these smaller animals that are manageable, you know, farmers who know what they're doing maybe can help contribute as well, since they're getting screwed over to some degree. It's one of those things where some are, some aren't. It's just so up in the air. But I think I was watching this guy. I don't know if you guys have seen him on TikTok. He's an American guy, and he sounds like Kuzco from Emperor's New Groove. Honest to God, I'll need to find the link for you because he's so funny. And he's got a whole like free range chicken farm going on with different types of chickens for different reasons. I think there's one's called a broiler chicken, and the other one's like is big fat chicken. The broiler chickens are like the fast growing ones. And then he's got like regular chickens and hens and whatever. And they are so sassy.
Oh my god. Oh, chickens have such a personality.
It's so funny. And then there's a woman, she collects eggs from like 200 chickens on her massive farm. And there's one that features on her TikTok all the time. I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, I know the woman you're talking about. Yeah, she's hilarious. Yeah, well, you're being a dick. Yeah, and then she's got like that one chicken who keeps like pushing the other the mummy chicken out and like looking after her chicks.
Yeah.
It's like they're not your babies.
All the eggs weren't even hatched, but she'll also steal the babies right out from under another hen. It is so funny. Oh, it kills me to see like the personality of some of these creatures that have been considered, you know, just whatever for so long, and yet some of them will just look at you like, I am gonna peck your fucking face off.
Yeah. I mean, this probably sounds crazy for people that work on farms, or like, I've not read Scoob's message that she's just posted, but Scoob grew up on a farm, and I remember her telling me how she used to be so close to the pigs and like wanted to look after them and stuff like that, but she understood when they had to go. But she loved them to bits, like they were family basically. And you respect him because you treat them as if they're part of the family. But then that must be so weird to understand that they've got to go at some point.
I think for me, like I knew from a young age about chicken and pigs and cows and things, about where our meat came from, and it's quite interesting because I found the concept of, say, like my dad's cousins, they had sheep and cows on the west coast, and I loved them so much. They were really sweet animals, and then I find the concept of them eventually dying easier to understand rather than my cat dying. But I think it's because, I don't know if for me it's because a cow has a purpose.
Yeah. I
can still love the cow like a pet. I can love it like my fur baby kind of thing. And many people do, especially in like these sanctuaries and things. But it's like you still respect the animal, and you're like, you're going to sustain some people in this community.
Yeah.
Whereas I think struggling with my cat dying, I think because she was just gone.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just my brain was like, she's just gone.
That's it. And like, their purpose, I guess, was to like be with you, have fun with you, and then
exactly, yeah.
Now they're
exactly.
gone.
Yeah. And it's not like I'd expect somebody to be eating their cat once they've died. What I'm saying is, they were there for us, as
Yeah.
an animal in our house, as a member of our family. And yes, the cow can be a member of the family for many farmers, who are then eventually going to slaughter that cow when the time comes and use that cow as sustenance for however many months, depending on the cow. But again, there's different uses for different animals to a different degree, just respecting them.
Respecting the animals while you prepare it ready for cooking. Worst bit was plucking the chicken. Was the worst bit. Your arms kill
I
after
can
doing
imagine.
that.
I can imagine, yeah.
Bred for companionship
yeah.
versus sustenance. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's
They've got
the difference.
They've got
isn't it?
different, as redundant as it sounds, they've got they have different uses. And I guess it was just the way that my child brain was working at the time.
I mean, like, it is. I've always, like, if I think about why I'm eating it when I'm eating it, I won't eat it. I have to,
Yeah.
like, ignorance is bliss for me. Because if I think of what I'm actually eating, it'll make me feel sick and then I won't be able to eat it. Because
I'm opposite.
I'm there being
Yeah.
like, that animal was living its
No, it
best life.
I'll tell you something funny. So if you're looking at something specific, like if you're thinking about the animal on your plate, it is likely going to hit you at a different part of your cycle.
Mm.
So if you're in a certain part of your cycle, it's not going to bother you too much.
Yeah,
But if you're at another part
100%.
where you're super emotional,
Yeah.
I find that out recently. Like, I've had medical training, and I had no idea about like the luteal phase of the cycle. Holy fucking shit! That's why I'm crying over this bloody dog video.
Yeah. Honestly, my friend has been such an inspiration. She's younger than me, but she wants to be a self-sustaining family. So they're trying to figure out how they can get land, this, that, and the other. And she's literally been like, we need to all go back to our roots. We need to stop going forward and go back, because going back was the best thing we ever had. And we're just ruining it as we're going along. So she's there being like, she wants to get a flour mill. She's got wheat grains from local farms, this, that, and the other. And she's doing amazing, but she's like, she has tried to do a meal plan. So she's currently researching on loads of foods and meals that's good for hormones. She's got a young child, so developments, but then also can relate to her cycle. Because obviously, being a busy mum, you all know more than anyone, Scottish. Being a busy mom, the last thing you're thinking about is this going to be best for my cycle at this point in my time? You're thinking, I've got a child and a partner to feed, and I'm exhausted, and I need to do all the chores, this, that, and the other. So she was there being like, I need something quick, easy, simple that I can adjust depending on which stage of my cycle I'm in. And I'm there being like, woman, you've literally got life figured. You're just working the kinks out.
I love that.
She's doing so much of that, like, she's going over to like stainless steel and cast iron and stuff like that, because she's like, I'm not having any of this plastic shit in my house. I'm not having this. I'm not having that. She's like, we're just going to go back to what people used to use back in the day. And I'm there being like, yeah, but aren't you going to get parts of that iron and stuff in your pan? And she's like, well, it's extra iron for us, isn't it? I was like, well, that's one way I look at it.
It's literally the same element. I mean, I'm at that point where I'm like, my brain is definitely full of plastics. I'm fucked.
Yeah.
But if I can negate that for, say, Cub, for example, as much as possible, he does have plastic bottles that we use for school, but because they're not allowed metal tumblers, it's for safety, because these ones are quite heavy.
Yeah, that's true.
There's only so much you can do. But if you're in the position where you can go essentially completely off grid, more power to you.
Yeah.
Because it can make a huge difference, especially if it's an anxiety for you as a parent. it can make a whole world of difference to your parenting to be able to go, actually, no, I don't want this in my life. I want to cut this out, which is great.
I mean, like, it makes sense and ties in everything we've just said about, like, looking after yourself, feeding, like, living off the land, like, knowing what to do with fishes, animals, stuff like that. Like, they're, at the moment, reconstructing their whole back garden to be sustainable and for learning and development for their child.
I love that.
Honestly, there were so many things. At first, I was there being like, I could never be this mother. I'm going to fail in life. But then after a while, I was there being like, you know what? You're just an absolute freaking genius. And, like, it was one of those moments where you're like, hats off to you. Like, if you can pull this off, that is actually amazing. And there is hope for us all yet. Because I'm there being
And
like, it's insane. It's stuff we don't think about. We just go about life on the fast lane, right? We're all so busy caught up on what we're doing. We don't think of the bigger picture.
If it's something where, you know, if you have somebody like that in your life who can actually then go and say to you, look, this is how I've done it. How about we figure out how to adapt it for what you have?
Yes.
You don't need a lovely big garden. You don't need a farm. You don't need land. If you have it, fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, we're very lucky that we have a lovely garden in the back of our house. But we also have a community garden right down the road.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm wanting to go more in the summer, so I can learn more about different crops. There's also things now about certain flowers. If you plant certain flowers in amongst your crops, it keeps birds away and slugs away.
Yes. Yeah.
Without having to use, like, pesticides and things. So, like, these simple things that kind of will help make you healthier, but also learning a vital skill.
That's exactly it. Like,
Quite cool.
she was saying to me how she recently went to the community. She's big on community, so she's not been a church girl or anything like that. But she's like, the biggest thing about the church and stuff is it's such a good supportive community that she wants to adapt that, especially for a child, being like, you've got all this community around you and this, that and the other, they're here to help, support and stuff like that, which I think in this day and age, like, most people don't even know who their neighbors are. So I think that's amazing. And then she went to her local community centre, and they've just started a farmer's market there. And she says all she did was spend 20 quid, and the farmer was so thankful and grateful. It brought tears to her eyes. Because she was there being like, not just, oh, thank you for buying this. She was like, I genuinely feel like he was like, out of desperation, thank you so much. And she's like, all I did was spend 20 quid. And she's like, if that's all it takes, that is crazy.
And the thing is, as much as it might not seem like that much has been spent, but now, you know, if she's had a good experience with the farmer and likes his produce, she's going to keep coming back.
Yeah.
And then she's going to tell her friends about him, and they're going to have their own little community. And the word spreads so quickly, it could end up being he ends up thriving. When you realize how much a customer can mean to a single farmer, it's unreal.
Oh, that's it. Like, she's gonna come back now, and try and help and sustain that for the local farms. Like, they're very big on when they used to drink was mead, and making mead, because like that was supporting the local companies, like the local beekeepers, and all that kind of stuff, of just being like locally sourced stuff to help and support. And I just feel like that's something we all need to adopt, I think, more. It's easier said than done, of course, but
I love a good craft fair. They don't happen too often here. It's usually the summer months because of tourism comes in. Not far from where we live, there's a lot of cruise ships come into the dock, and it's really nice because That's when everyone is out. The market stalls are out. The local bread maker, the local jewelry maker. Like we don't know them by name, but we know them by face. We know different owners of different stores. And it's just nice because everything here is usually handmade and it's made with love and intention, and I think that's what I missed out on living in the city. And don't get me wrong, I love the city when I grew up. I mostly grew up on the countryside, but it was one of those things where I think I missed the small community feel when I moved to the city. And like you said, like people don't know their neighbors half the time. A lot of the time, I don't really care about my neighbors, depending who they are. But there's a lot of time where I'm like, actually, I want to get to know this person a bit more. And like I said, with the community garden, there's that option for people to go and get to know people, learn a new skill, and kind of, especially people like me who I'm limited and I can't. It gives me something to do and something to look forward to. You know?
Yeah, that's it. And then you've got your community aspect that keeps everybody feeling better, thinking better.
That's it, exactly.
Oh, the butchers, that's a good point, Tal. It's like
Love
the
a
amount
butcher.
of money I have spent on some mincemeat from the shop. Like, I could have bought that the same amount, if not just a bit more, and had it so much fresher, so much better, so much tastier.
That's one thing I kind of miss. It's not happened so much recently. My in-laws and Bear's parents, they used to have a supplier where they would make basically a butcher supplier, and because she was mother-in-law ran a B&B for a while, she would get like big bulk buys of different meats and things. And then when we first moved, she got us a few different trays over the space of like the first year, and it was all things like was it Stornoway black pudding and sausages and bacon, and I kid you not, it was proper butcher stuff. It was amazing. It's pricey because you buy in bulk. That's what it's there for. You can't just buy one packet of bacon that I know of, but it's one of these things where it was just so nice to have. And then when we went back, when things changed, they couldn't afford to keep buying these big packets, these big crates of food. I was like, that's fine, we'll just go out to buying from like Morrison's and that. And I was like, oh my fuck god, it's £6 per kilo.
Yeah,
for
that's
mint.
it.
And I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's so
I think it's double
expensive
that now,
from the
actually.
store.
Oh.
And you get
But we
hardly
do-
anything.
We do have a butcher on the south end of the island that I want. It's a bus journey, so I need to make sure I'm planning it properly. But then there's also a fruit and veg store just down the road from us that do deliveries locally.
That's
So I'm
good.
like, if I can get an idea, I'll need to go down at some point, get an idea of what. But then they've also started doing this thing this year where you can order a box. You just tell them what you need, how much you need. They'll stick it in a hamper and bring it to you.
Oh.
So basically, if I want like a certain type of potato, then they'll go, right, we don't have that right now, but we'll put that in your next hamper, kind of thing.
That's good. Because they're
and the same with
considering you and your needs and stuff like that as well.
Well, that's it. And it's like, I like certain potatoes because of the way they mash, for example. Like,
Yeah.
I'm one of those people. I like certain potatoes for doing potato salad, baked potatoes, things like that. But then there's also the store by my in-laws. They've ran for decades. And if I call them up and say, I like this certain type of wine, you don't usually stock, they'll then get me a case in the next order. And it's great. And obviously I pay for the case, they don't just give it to me. But like,
Yeah.
it's one of those things where if I want it and they can get it from their wholesaler, then they'll get it.
Yeah.
And they're really, really good like that. And especially with them being right next to, where my in-laws are, it's a situation where I can go, look, I'll pay you over the phone. My in-laws will come and collect it when it's ready, and then I'll just get it from them when I'm there.
Yeah. Which is convenient for you, which is what you need, because the more convenient it is, the more likely you are to use it and do it and stuff like that.
One thing I'd like to see more of is, I know it's not exactly realistic for many communities, but there's something called kindness cabins that keep popping up everywhere around the Highlands.
Ooh.
And it was mostly through COVID, and it was where people were basically like, here's a space, fill it with food that you don't want.
Ah.
Or food that you have maybe had from the food bank. Because if you get food from the food bank and there's certain food in there you don't necessarily like, that's okay. Then you can't give it back to them, but you can put it to the kindness cabin. Or you can donate it in like your local co-op if they've got donation bins.
Yeah.
So one thing I noticed with the kindness cabins is that they're always stocked, and it was usually the local co-ops, because we mostly got a co-op here, and the local corner stores from all over the island, like the independent own. So whenever they had stuff that was like, say, a week from going out a date but doesn't get bought often, they would then donate it straight to the kindness cabins.
Oh, that's good.
And anytime we've been, they've got a fridge and a freezer in one of our, and people who have got like cafes nearby, if they've made a big batch of soup and it's not all sold, they'll then package it and put it in the freezers, the local freezers, so that people can just go in and get a tin of, or a tub of potato and leek soup or something.
That's such a good idea.
It'll stay in the freezer, it'll be dated, stay in the freezer. Then the volunteers who run the cabins will then go and obviously check the stock to make sure it's all okay. But there's been so many like local farmers, if they have had a surplus of potatoes or carrots, they'll stick it in the cabin as well, so people can just go help themselves.
That's such a good idea. I've heard
It's amazing how different like
out there.
that kind of life is. Yeah, to, like city life and stuff. Man.
I think it's easier for us here to have that trust that somebody isn't just going to go in and ransack, because the cabin's left open. There's specific hours that they are open, specific days, and because it's ran next, like our local one is right next to a church, and whoever has the keys that day will open up in the morning, and they'll check in around lunchtime to make sure the cabin isn't, messy, or things haven't been left open. But I feel like it's so much easier here where we are because everyone knows everyone.
Yeah.
And if something happened to this one specific cabin I'm thinking of, if something happens to that cabin, usually it can be pinpointed to somebody, and we can go, right, you're suspect, let's find out where the fuck you were. And it's like the whole village turns into a whole like detective show.
What happened to our cabin? How did that happen?
Yeah, exactly. And it
Jeremy, why did you do this?
Yeah, it's like, David, for fuck's sakes. Get your shit together, man. But it's because everyone knows everybody, and we know it benefits everyone. People don't usually fuck with it.
I know big stores have started doing, I don't remember what it was called. I feel like I up for it at one point. It's like Co-op and Greg's and stuff, and big stores basically that had stuff that was either going out on the day or when they did fresh baked stuff, like when they did fresh baked loaves or sausage rolls or whatever, that they would then, I think it was an hour or two before closing time, if they had a lot of something still left, they'd put it up on their site, and you'd pay like £10 for so much of something. So if they were like, oh, you can have 10 sausage rolls for this, that and the other, too good to go bags, yeah, that's it.
I was gonna say, I know that, but I couldn't remember the name.
Yeah, no, I couldn't remember. But I know a lot of stores have started doing that to help reduce waste. Because God, we're all wasteful.
Yeah, it's
wasteful
unreal.
things. Our council, I think quite a lot of places already had this, which I didn't realize. Was food waste. So rather than it just going in the general bin, you'd have a little bin, basically a miniature bin, that would be just for food waste. And then they'd collect that with your normal waste. And we don't have that, so like all of our waste was just going in the normal waste bin.
Yeah.
And then it was like explaining like how helpful that is. It can use for biofuel and stuff like that. And I was like, well, I always thought of that on games, but
Yeah.
I never thought about that in real life.
There didn't seem to be any real life. Do you know what that actually reminds me? I did see an article, but it was like very sciencey, where scientists have now discovered now I want to get this right. I think it's a microbe, a type of bacteria that eats plastic. And
Yes,
then
yes,
produces bioplastic.
I heard that as well.
Oh, I was
don't
like,
know.
holy crap.
Yeah, yeah. There was like, yeah, you're right, like a bacteria or like a little thing that
Little fella.
yeah. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, there's a thing that eats microplastics. You're right.
I just love that. That's such a cool thing to
I'm like,
know.
that,
and like,
that's a great thing we've discovered. How do we make more of it? And let's get it going.
let's get the funding going. Chop chop.
Yeah, literally. Like, come on, you guys with your thousands, billions, trillions of dollars.
Yeah.
Where are you putting your money?
enough.
Come on.
Literally. And they're like, oh,
Well, you
things
finger
are
out your
declining.
asses.
The birth rate is declining. Well, how about you look after us more? And
Yeah.
like, how about like we actually put money towards things like childcare or like accessible services for people? You know, it's like, yeah, I would love to have another baby for sure, but like, I've got to be really careful with how I go about it because of where I live,
Yeah.
services we have. I might end up 100 miles from home if anything happens because we don't have full services. We have some maternity service,
Yeah.
but we don't have full emergency services because we're trying to close our local hospital.
Oh god.
And it's like, if our local right by us closes, then there's only really one main hospital left on the island.
And then how the hell are you getting back?
Exactly, and technically, like, Cobb was quite lucky because they had to be taken to the big main hospital on the island when Cobb had his breathing issues last year. And we were lucky because the ambulance drivers that took him with Bear were based in our nearest town from the wee hospital. So they had to come back anyway. So once they dropped Cobb and Bear off in the emergency department to get checked in the big hospital, the guys had to go on another call, but then they came back to pick up Bear and Cobb and
That's
took them
handy.
back to drop them off back to the house after Cobb was treated. And I was so grateful because I was like, holy shit, how am I going to manage this? This is at like
Yeah.
1 o'clock in the morning, taken through. And my brother-in-law had had a drink that night. My father-in-law had had a drink, no fit to drive. And I was like, I'm just going to have to wait till the morning. And they were like, look, we can drive in the morning. We'll be fine for then. Let us know. And that was like, that's fine. But it's one of those things where, in a hypothetical that, say, I end up pregnant again and I'm having another baby, there's a high likelihood I might need another C-section. So that's not going to get done on the island. That has to get done in Inverness, which is 100 miles away.
Yeah.
So theoretically, I would be on my own for about 4 days in hospital.
Yeah.
And
It's
then-
not ideal, is it?
Having my stomach sliced open, I then need to make the 3.5 hour journey back to the island.
Yeah.
Which I would probably manage. Like, I will have a car, so it won't take as long. But I'm just like, just the thought of having to do that all over again. So like, you really have to put a lot of thought into these things.
Yeah.
If they put more funding into our services, which is needing more use because more young people are coming to the island again.
That's
you
like
know, people
public
would-
transport just needs more freaking
Oh,
attention.
public transport's a huge thing for us. I love getting a bus, right? I love busing. I will literally take the 3.5 hour bus to Inverness. I will stay 45 minutes to have a portion of chips from my favourite cafe, and then I will get the 3.5 hour bus home
Oh my
because
God.
I love to travel that much. I love the journey, right? I'm fucking mental like that.
That's a bit insane.
I love it, right? That is a
They
day-
must be some banging chips.
do you know what though? Like the journey, the chips, it's like when you take a day, if you go drive somewhere for a nice view or something, that's my version of driving to a lovely view. If that makes
Yeah,
sense.
that's fair.
Like,
Yeah.
It's one of those things. I love the journey. I bring my kids, and I just have a me day. That's a me day. That's a spa day for me.
And do you just go on your
Um,
own, just yourself?
I just go on my own. I do it all the time. I get a free bus pass because of my disabilities. So I just literally just jump on the bus and I usually know the bus driver and we'll have chit chat and
Mm.
then we'll head off. And then it's usually the same bus driver that goes back. So I'll be like, I'm usually like, see you in a few hours. If I'm staying for the whole day, I get the later bus. It's about 6 o'clock. Um,
Ah.
and then I chat to them and get on the bus and we head home. But it's one of those things where, you know, having better public transport in the local area would be great because I could then go to the butcher on the south end a lot easier. I
Yeah,
could go to Broadford
things will
and
be
be
more
able to go to
accessible.
the local. Yeah, I could go to the local cafes a bit easier. You know, I want to be able to kind of spread the love regarding buses and using public transport, but they need a lot more funding.
Yeah.
A lot more needs done to encourage investment into that.
Oh, they
Even
really,
in the
really
city.
do. It is kind of stupid how much has been neglected. And, like, owning a car is so expensive that
Oh yeah,
most people can't do that nowadays. Like, it's just
yeah.
not
It's
affordable
not
for them.
realistic. If we because I calculated it a while ago, and because of the level of um disability I have, I am eligible for a mobility car, which isn't free. My mobility payment would be taken off me to pay for the car, like a finance.
Yeah.
But it would be cheaper in the long run for us rather than going private, and that's great. But at the same time, it's like I think they cover tax and MOT every year. I think we're responsible for the insurance, and obviously we'd be responsible for filling the car up.
Yeah.
What they're also wanting to do now, by they I mean people down south who are in charge, are wanting to essentially have every disability car having a black box,
Oh,
which
that's interesting.
isn't it's not a bad idea for some people, but it's also a pain in the ass because it can affect your insurance claims.
Yes, yeah.
It can
Yeah.
make insurance a bit more expensive depending on where you are. It can make things a bit more complicated because black boxes aren't always accurate.
Yes.
Um,
Tell me about it.
And I feel like, yeah, if you want to choose to have a black box and it decreases your insurance, amazing. Go for it, make the most of that. I've known people that have done it and I don't see an issue with that. But when it becomes a situation of you have to do this or you don't get to drive that car, it's like,
Yeah.
I don't have an issue with, like, you know, it won't be me driving, it'll be Bear driving because fuck putting me behind a wheel. But it is one of those things, like, you've got to weigh up the pros and cons at the end of the day, don't you?
Oh, definitely. And as you say, like, how much money are you going to be spending on insurance? How much money are you going to be spending on fuel? Paying for parking? Freaking all these other random freaking factors and stuff. And then you're like, is that really worth it? Is that worth it?
I was laughing. I love doing, you know, I love my spreadsheets, right?
Oh, yeah.
I was doing a spending
Gorgeous
spreadsheet.
spreadsheet.
I think it was like a year or so ago when I got the higher mobility to where I can get a car on finance. And I was like, oh right, what would the cost of this be? What is this worth looking into?
Yeah.
If and when Bear gets his license sorted. And I looked into it and I'm cheaper by hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds. If I use my free bus pass to go through to Inverness, for example, I can then hire a mobility scooter for the day for, like, I think it's like 40 quid or something.
Oh my god.
Rather than having to, like, drive around, parking tickets, things like that. The amount of times that I go into the city every year, I'm cheaper by hundreds of pounds going in, renting a mobility scooter or a motorized wheelchair for the fact that, you know, I can't be on my feet all day, and just zipping around the city and just doing that. and getting on and off a couple of buses. I could cover the whole city in a day on a motorized wheelchair, just by going, the pavements aren't the best, but just going around the pedestrian places that I can go. Walking, it would not be possible for me. Driving would be a pain in the ass because a lot of the places here, the machines aren't working for the park and pay, potholes, the prices. There's all these things going on.
Yeah,
I'm like-
driving's just a big inconvenience for
Yeah.
I feel like most people. It's not affordable. It's a pain in the ass.
And it used to be amazing. Like, this is something that everyone in our generation strived for, is to
Yeah.
get a driver's license and
Yeah.
get in that car. Unfortunately, it's just not that. That's just not it anymore. A lot more
No.
young ones are. I say young ones. We're young. We're all young here, okay?
Yeah.
But the younger, like the generation below us, are going to have to rely a lot for it.
Well, I didn't realize like how many people don't drive that are our age.
Yeah, it's huge.
Like it's way bigger than I realized. Like I've just grew up in that generation and in that population of as soon as you can drive, you get a car and you go drive.
Yeah, you just do it.
Like
You just go.
that as soon as you are turn of age where you can do driving lessons, you go do your driving lessons, and you're taught how to drive, and you're taught that the world is literally your oyster when you know how to drive. Which, don't get me wrong, there's so much freedom with driving and stuff like that, but there is just so many people, and it wasn't until like I was out in the dating scene that I realized a lot of people don't drive. I was like, what? You're just stuck in your little area? And they're like, yeah, but then you've got buses or taxis or Ubers. I'm like, yeah, but they're expensive, aren't they? And then they were like, yeah, but isn't driving a car? I was like, yeah, that's true.
I think that's the thing. I think a lot of people don't like, because like I have had to weigh up the pros and cons of having a car and the costs and things. A lot of people are able to go straight into it, which is great if you're able to afford that straight off the bat. But I think the initial offset of spending like 20 quid on a taxi is painful. Whereas when you're paying a regular amount every month, say like your fuel costs and whatever, you don't tend to notice it the same.
Yeah.
Whereas like you see like a lot of people see taxis as like kind of like a luxury. Whereas for me it's a necessity, like where I am.
Yeah.
Because if I get, say, like I have a day to myself in the city and I'm home and the bus gets in here, I think it's like 10 to 9 or something like that, 9 o'clock at night, I then have to figure out if I'm fit enough to go up the hill to get to where my house is. And it's not a long walk, but it's fair enough for me. I usually just book a taxi that day, and I'm like, look, I've got a couple of different taxi drivers that I know by name, and if they're free, they'll come pick me up. And it's one of those things in the city, I never would have dreamed of doing that, because A, I had buses, and B, I was usually areas where I could just walk it. But then there's also people that like me who are, not as fit and not as capable. And it's one of those things where it's just worth, I think it's worth seeing taxis as, yeah, it's still a luxury to a degree, but it's not like you can never take them.
Yeah.
A lot of people do rely on them.
I'm just like, this is just like how different our areas are. Is we would only take taxis if we really had to. Like, it was just classed as, oh, you're getting a taxi. Okay, what time are you going to be home by? Like, how long does it take you to get there? Are you going to be okay? Does anyone need pepper spray? Like,
that's yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, you get in a taxi not knowing if you're going to make it home or not. Like, and that's
That is
just
so true.
That's just ridiculous. I think that's why, like, everyone just learned how to drive, was because then you're the one responsible for yourself, and you don't make it home, then where the hell were you going, and how the hell was you driving that pole? So it's just crazy how different just growing up in a different part has to answer for how we live, basically.
Yeah.
And what we all need more from, I guess that's why we have our local councils, right? But then it's crazy how we have our local councils and yet there's one area will need one thing more than another area will, but we're all kind of under the same laws.
Yeah. And I can understand population differences. Like there's a lot of things, a lot of people I see mostly online are like, oh well, you know, London needs this and this more than the entirety of the Highland, the way the Highlands is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, there are massive gaps between towns and villages, but there are also people in between those villages.
Yeah.
There are people in between those towns. Like these massive roads that you can drive hours and hours and not see anybody. There are houses off the beaten track there. There are people living here, like farmers, for example. Like you could literally drive an entire hour down a driveway and reach a house on its own. That's how remote it is.
Yeah,
But
it's not
like,
as if it's easy to get to work.
No, exactly. And if you're thinking of things like emergency services, for example, it's one of those situations where, yeah, London is absolutely going to need more than what the Highlands, but the Highlands needs more than what it has now.
Yeah.
Because of the growing population and people moving out to the countryside where it's cheaper and things like that. And again, it can be cheap in the city for some people, but the way things are going, private city lets are like double the price
Oh yeah, it's
of
so
country
expensive.
lets. And it fluctuates. It all depends on the market. It does fluctuate, and there are some times where, you know, the young ones are finding it more affordable in the city, and then there'll be maybe like 10 years pass, and then the country.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's true.
it's just one of those things where going with the ebbs and flows and just try not to like cut people off just because they're like, they've only got a town of like 500. Well, that town of 500 has probably only got one doctor and 3 nurses.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
no idea.
They need all the help and support they can get.
And like even our doctor surgery here, all the GPs rotate between, so there's a certain day, the doctor that I like, I think it's like a Wednesday, she spends that day in our local hospital, which is right next door to our GP.
Aw.
And that's where she works because they are so low staffed. And they're also so low staffed on nurses that you can't just walk. They have an A&E department, but you can't just walk into A&E. You have to phone them. You have to phone 111. And then if 111 refer you to the A&E department, if the GP is closed, then it's unfortunately a bit of a fight sometimes for people, because it's like, right, 111 have said, this is an emergency, I need to come here. They then, at that little A&E, if they're so understaffed, they then have to send you south of the island, like to the south of where we are, to the bigger hospital where they might have capacity, just because they don't have enough staff. There's probably enough beds, but it's just not enough
no one to
staff.
look after you though.
Yeah, and if you're looking at like the tourism season coming up as well, it's like there are going to be people with heat stroke. They're not going to realise how hot Scotland can actually
Yeah. Because they're just not prepared.
And they're not aware of the undercurrent out in the kayaks, and it's just...
Yeah. Asking for disasters.
Yeah, they've been trying to close our hospital, babe, haven't they? Because of the lower use of the hospital, because they can't take us on, they're like, well, the hospital isn't used enough, so we're going to try and close it.
What
And
the
I was
hell?
like, if you put funding into it and got more staff, people would be able to use it, rather than having Inverness.
Yeah. And then
Same
again,
with
as you say, like, it's so inaccessible for you guys that
Yeah.
you're not going to be able
It's
to do
one
it.
of those things where I could totally walk to the hospital if I had, you know, not a broken leg or so. If I had a broken arm, I could walk to this hospital near us, and they would probably treat me if it was an absolute dire situation, because that's who they are. They're going to let you in if it's life or death.
Yeah.
But if it's something where I'm not bleeding and it's just a broken bone, they will try and send me to the Southern Hospital, where I have to either arrange a taxi or a bus, and then I have to arrange that back if they don't have an ambulance that's able to pick me up. And it's a shame because there's a growing aging population as well.
That'll need more care and more help.
Yeah. There was an old lady today in the shop. I took Cub to the play park I told you about, and I was like, let's go to the shop and we'll pick up some ice cream for Bear for his throat and things. And I was standing off to the side while Cub chose a sandwich, and he has this plush collie dog that he loves.
Oh.
And he took the plush collie dog with us to the play park, and he put it in the trolley for the shop. And this wee old woman comes up to me and holds my arm, and I was like, my first initial instinct was like, does she think I'm somebody else?
What the?
And no, she holds onto my arm. She's like, I thought that was a real dog in that trolley. I was about to go pet it, and I was like, love, you need to go to Specsavers. She was just this wee frail old thing. And I was like, oh my
bless
God.
her.
It's just so funny.
Yeah, exactly. It's like how unaccessible care is for you. Like that's going to be the same for the older generation as well.
That's it. And the thing is, like, I always see it if I can't reach it. It's like, well, my mother-in-law, I want to say she's in her late 60s now. She's pretty spry, but she struggles with her back now, and she's been running her own businesses, like physical labor for decades. And then I don't like to blame Bear too much, but he was a very large baby. So it was one of these things where it's like, I feel like she's,
you know how much that takes its toll. Yeah.
Yeah, body's gone through it, and I'm very aware that if I'm struggling to access certain things, then it's going to get to a point where I'm going to struggle. Or that little old lady that tapped me on the arm today, she seems so frail. She probably can't reach certain things.
Yeah, yeah.
Like when I did my back in a few weeks ago, I couldn't find anywhere that could loan me. I would have had to wait 3 days to get it delivered from Inverness. And by that point, I wouldn't have needed it because I'd have to book. I needed it to be able to get to a doctor's appointment, essentially. And by the time it would have arrived, I don't even know when I'd be able to book my doctor's appointment, because you have to book so far in advance or book on the day. So even then, it was a pain in the ass. I ended up not going to the doctor, and my back my back healed itself. But it is one of those things where you've got to weigh these things up.
Yeah, it's how accessible is it? Can I get to it? Is it worth trying to get to? Or do you just put up with it?
Yeah. Although, with that said, there was there was a link that I found that I put in the list for Discord.
Yeah.
If we're talking about chairs, there's the Japanese office chair races.
Excuse me.
Which I think is quite interesting.
Races for chairs?
So basically, it's a chair race.
How does that work?
So you get an office chair, and you put a number on it, and you sit on it, and you race with it. By the video, they're all going backwards. So like they're pushing themselves backwards along like a long road.
Probably a bit easier, maybe.
Yeah, there's a YouTube video that's linked in the link that I put in. But I find it quite interesting to watch because they're all dressed up. They've all got helmets on.
What's the purpose? What are they trying to do?
They're literally just right. So Japan is known for their strong work culture.
Yes.
And they're very like on the dime every single day, 24/7, right? And that's great if it's working for the community. But what they've now incorporated is office chair races to, I don't know how often they do it, to be honest, but they've got a literal chair racing association. And the winners win a massive bag of rice to be able to take home with them.
Oh.
Which is pretty cool. But it's
Yeah.
all a laugh. It's all a bit of fun. If you want to go and race, you can sign up to race. But like a marathon.
Yeah.
If you don't want to race, you can just stay on the sidelines and cheer on. But it's literally like, I don't even know if it's like a charity fundraiser they sometimes do with it, but there's somebody dressed up as Pikachu. There's somebody with a massive like green, it looks like a green afro, makes them look like a tree on their head.
Someone's
like-
always dressed up as Pikachu.
Oh, there's always a
Yeah.
Pikachu.
It's like, yes.
There's somebody with like rainbow racing stripes on their t-shirt. Like
What the hell?
Oh,
sunflower on their head. Like there's so many cool like outfits and that they've got on, and they really make fun. They make it fun. But it's literally just because they want to, what was it say here? The sport encourages teamwork, empathy, and social connection while
Oh.
promoting exercise and a break from the daily grind.
And which they heavily need.
Yes.
They need to know
But if
when
you
to
also-
chill.
If we're talking about like the elderly, like we were earlier, the Japanese older generation, I feel like they've got it down pat. Like there's certain exercises they do that's apparently your body as you age, and it's not like core exercise that you do in the gym. It's literally just
Yeah.
stretches.
Yeah.
And then in a lot of places in Japan, I hope I'm not confusing this with China, but in a lot of places they've got I don't know if you guys have ever seen like public gyms in like play park areas.
Yes. Yeah.
So like the walker things and whatever.
Yeah.
They've got them all over the country. And
That's
it's
great.
primarily the elderly that use it. You just go up and use it. You don't have to worry about paying for a gym pass and stuff.
We always
Okay.
had those in our local parks as well. I think it was more to keep the kids entertained rather than graffitiing
Oh,
on
yeah.
things. But at the same time, like, it was handy. It was useful. Like, the grandparents would be able to take the grandkids out and have fun
Mhm.
with them, and then gets them out, gets them moving, gets them mobile, as well as, which is just what they need.
And I'd see the ones in Inverness, I would see a lot of teenagers going on them. And just, they'd be arsing about,
Yeah.
but they'd be having fun.
And they're getting their
You know-
exercise in.
They're getting the exercise in and they're staying out of trouble. You know, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, that's it.
It's one of those things where, like, we would go out and, as a teenager, like, we didn't have really much to do, but because we lived right in the countryside. But they introduced one of the bucket swings to the play park nearest my house, and that thing was great because three of us
Yeah.
could lie in the bucket swing, and then two kids would go on either side where the rope is and swing us so high
Yeah.
that we nearly fall out, and it was just great fun. You can make a lot of like imaginative play even as a teenager or as an adult with these kinds of things.
And that's what you need to keep people sane and happy. Well,
Yeah.
I had something with caring for the older generation of apparently the Netherlands have created a village for people with dementia and
I heard
Alzheimer's,
of that. Yes.
where the
I love that.
caregivers play the roles of the neighbours, shopkeepers to avoid a hospital-like atmosphere. And I just thought
I
that's
love
just
that.
that was amazing, but then my first thought after that was, are those staff members okay? Like, you're gonna have to be working 24-hour shifts. Other than when you're sleeping, you're more than likely gonna have to live with them. And then at that point, you're having to sacrifice your life to care for them. Like, is there a
So,
point of where
yeah.
that starts, that ends? Like, is it 4 on, 4 off type thing? And then how do you
So-
explain that to the residents?
Yeah, no, absolutely. The one that I know of, that I heard of years ago, is because it's dementia patient, and they don't have the issue of like they've got an issue with object permanence, for example, where they won't actually remember who's but the I guess the consistency of having a shopkeeper job
Yeah.
that sticks with their brain, even if you're in the absolute throes of dementia.
Yeah.
That consistency of having that job, especially with a lot of dementia patients and Alzheimer's, got memories from their childhood, but can't remember what they did last month or last.
Yeah.
So for me, I can imagine it being like I used to work as what we called a house parent, where I was a support worker and I would stay overnight. So I would do, I think it was like a half eight till 10:30 shift, and then I would head to the parents' room at 11 o'clock. Sometimes we had an overnight night shift worker, depending on what kids we had in and who was away for the holidays, whatever. But my job was basically as a backup. So I would go and sleep, and then I would then work the next day, and then I'd go home after my day shift.
Yeah.
So I'd have 2 days on and technically on call overnight.
Yeah.
It wrecked me, but it was, for me, it was good because I got technically 3 days of wages for 2.5 days of work.
Good point.
And then I could have 2 days off.
That makes sense.
And it made sense for us. But I totally see where you're coming from, especially if it's like
Yeah.
there's confusion.
I mean,
for the
I guess as long as
patient.
it's spread out fairly and people are still being looked after that work there,
Yeah.
not just end up grinding them to the stone and stuff like that. But what's it called? Yes, the caregivers, like, I guess, as you said, like, the whole point was trying to, like, avoid the hospital atmosphere or the care home atmosphere and make them feel more comfortable at home. Everything's dealt with in a discreet manner. Apparently the research behind it was done that they were having to have less medication for stress, anxiety, and stuff like that, because there was less agitation, because they just felt like they were just at home basically, or like in their local neighborhood. So it improved their quality of life at the end of life, I guess.
I love that.
Which you couldn't ask for anything more, could you really?
No, well, that's it.
Best
and
way to
especially...
give your parents or grandparents the best ending of their life, I suppose, or towards the end.
Especially in communities that have like high regard for their older generation, that's quite a huge thing.
Yes. Yeah.
I fully believe in giving our older generation that kind of respect. I say that as I have more love for my mother-in-law father. He's somebody else's problem. But it's something that I would like to see for example, for my mother-in-law, where she can have that nice experience if she needs it in a care home setting where we can come visit, and it's you know, it's somewhere where she's comfortable, at peace, where there's no stress. And if, touch wood, God forbid, it is a dementia situation where, you know, it's somewhere where she can have, because she spent all her life working, you know, in a kind of setting where she'd be able to feel like she's contributing, if that makes sense. Even with an issue of dementia, it's like it makes them feel part of a community.
Well, that's it. It's like they've still got a part of themselves there, even if they have got dementia. And I think it's just such a nice way to support them. And like that must just be nice to do a little bit of role playing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Rather than feeling like you're at work, you're just chilling with people.
That was one thing that I loved about my job as a support worker, because I work with kids who are high school age. If I was doing a day shift, I was doing the school day support, so I was working as like a pupil support assistant. But then in the evenings, for my evening, we would usually be going out, especially if it was a weekend. But then I became the unofficial events coordinator, no, activities coordinator. And I was like, look, what have we got in the area? What have we got nearby? What can we do with these kids who need constant, like, they need to go all the time?
Need something.
They had a mixture of different issues, different disabilities, physical, mental, whatever. So I had to have that like in my brain at the same time, and I loved it. We had swimming, we had cinema, we had different visits around like the Perthshire area. We had access to Dundee, longer distance access, but we had access to Glasgow. So there was loads of different things that, you know, we could have done and gone to, and if we had to make sure we had a driver and certain staff on hand, because certain staff were trained for different things. But it worked, and the kids absolutely loved it, because a lot of the kids were there, like it was a residential, so they were there all year round except the odd holiday where they'd go home. And I remember one kid, his family were actually, his parents lived in Dubai.
God.
He had I think his brother lived in Edinburgh and his sister lived in Glasgow. And there's quite a big age gap between him and his siblings, little older siblings. And he was a great kid. He was great crack. But he only got to go home once a year in the summer, because obviously it's across the other end of the world.
Yeah, yeah.
But he loved being able to go home. He would always, like, it was so exciting, him coming back, because I'd worked through the summer as well. Him coming back, and he'd be all about his trip, all about his parents.
Aww.
On the way there, because he'd have to go through Glasgow to get the flight, he would get to see his brother and sister for a few days before then going away to Dubai. And it was just really, really sweet. And then he'd come home, he'd tell me all about it. He wasn't necessarily a kid that needed one-to-one support all the time, and I wasn't his key worker, but I loved just chatting to him. And then he'd hang out with whatever kid I was looking after. We'd all hang out together, you know, do whatever sports and whatever they wanted to do.
Aww,
It was a great job. I absolutely loved that job. I only left that job because I definitely would have stayed there a lot longer.
Yeah.
But I think working in a care home was okay. I did that for placement when I was doing my nursing. But I think doing something like that little village idea, I think that would be a lot of fun. Obviously, as long as they're looking after their staff.
Yeah, yeah. That's
I
it.
do
As long
agree.
as the staff
It would
get
not
looked
feel
at.
like a job.
That's it. That's it. You just feel like you're sat there chit-chatting to him, and just like sitting with an old person and freaking having a cup of coffee, just
God, yeah.
talking about life, and like that's entertaining them. That's caring for them. And then I guess the thing would be, how on earth would you give him the medication?
That is very true. It's like, why is this neighbor giving me drugs?
Yeah, literally. Right, hey,
I don't know if
Karen,
they'd have like
here you
a
go.
dizzy.
Here's some paracetamol.
I can imagine
Don't tell no one.
like somebody dressed up, like a lot of the older folk nowadays, the fashion back then when they were younger would be very different.
Yeah.
So now I'm imagining somebody dressed up as like an old-timey doctor with the long white robe and the
Yeah.
stethoscope, being like, I brought you your daily vitamins and medicine that you ordered.
Yeah.
Because you used to
Yeah.
be able to like order stuff to your house
Yeah.
and be like, don't forget to take your dose today. Or a visit to like the quote-unquote doctor in the little village, and it's just like one
Yeah,
of the
that's a
local
good
nurses.
point. Yeah.
One of the care
You'd
staff.
have one person that actually is doing their job,
The
rather than
designated
pretending to
nurse.
be turning up dressed as
I
a
can
plain doctor.
imagine.
Literally.
Oh my god. I can
Um.
imagine like the wee diners.
Oh god, yeah. There was one thing I should have mentioned earlier. But you know how you was on about buses and going on a bus on your own and whatnot to places. I didn't realize this was a problem full stop for South Korea, but South Korea have apparently fixed the issue. Launched night buses exclusively for women to make it safer for them to
Ooh.
travel home. And of
Yes.
course, I'm negative Nancy, so I find the negatives in that. But I think that's still very fantastic, the fact that they have buses dedicated for women to get safe travels home.
Yes.
My thought was they still
Go
have
on.
to wait on their own at a bus stop. Many things
Yeah.
can happen then. And then they've then got to go walk from the bus stop to their house. So I'm like, it still doesn't negate it completely, but it's definitely something that could help prevent.
Yeah.
In Japan, they've got on the like trains and stuff, they've got female only like carriages.
Yes,
Ah.
I've seen that.
So yeah, so like on the bullet trains and stuff like that, female only carriages, so they can just get away from the pesky man and stuff.
See, I don't see that poem as negative Nancy. I'm fully in
No,
agreement.
you're realistic
where...
about things, but
No,
Yeah.
absolutely.
like that's
It's
very
knowing.
realistic thinking, and like I'm the same way. Like I agree with what Pom said. However, they're still trying to at least do
something.
right?
Yeah,
like
that's it.
Yes.
the whole issue is obviously those fucking men who will go out there and like fucking do whatever, stalk a woman or whatever, right? That's the issue.
Yeah.
but that's kind of hard to solve in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
it's as good as
It's
we're gonna get for
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
Providing
exactly.
help for the women.
Exactly.
And I genuinely feel like I don't know if there's any science behind it, but like since meeting Bear, for example, he's the first man to like I've not had any bad vibes from first meeting. And I think that's what helped our relationship kind of grow and what helped me develop an attachment to him, because I've got attachment issues. Trauma. And it was just nice, like not feeling that pressure.
Yeah.
And then it made me feel like I could be more stronger and assertive as a person. And then that grew into me having, I don't like to say more respect for myself, but expecting better for myself.
Yeah.
Like, I expect to be able to go out into the street and just walk and not be scared,
Yeah.
which is not a realistic expectation nowadays. However, I do feel like that if they are introducing things like this, where it's like marriages, you're going to be like, look, I deserve this space. Hopefully, that will then give them maybe courage to be like, fuck off.
Yeah.
If-
Yeah,
or-
actually, that's a good
or,
point.
or I would never, I don't encourage people to step in when somebody is in harm's way, especially if it's going to harm you as well.
Yeah.
But at least there'll be some act, because there's so many things that happen in plain view
Yeah.
that people don't act. Whereas now, there have been situations where I've acted for somebody else. I would never have done that 10 years ago before I met Bear, because
Yeah, true.
I was so self-conserving, which is a normal human emotion. But now I'm like, no, I deserve this nice space. They deserve this nice space. We all
Yeah.
deserve safe space.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, this is what it's like. Okay, fuck you guys.
Yeah. And then
we
you
all deserve a
become
nice space.
more supportive, more helpful for others as well.
Yeah.
That's it. Is that you've got to be able to look after yourself to look after someone else, right?
Exactly.
So if you're not up to full form, you feel like yourself or how you should feel, then it's like, I guess in some way, yeah, that bus thing is way more helpful than you first realised, because the thought of it is, someone normally sees you before you get on the bus, right? And then they follow you, then they act. At least that's breaking that midline, I guess, because they can't follow you if they can't get on the bus with you.
It's breaking that access to a degree where we can shout till the cows come home about men need to be taught and held accountable. That's fine. We can still keep yelling about that,
Yeah.
but at the same time, things done to protect women in these situations in the interim.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not a solution, but it's a stepping stone. If that makes
That's it.
Oh,
So-
yell it from the rooftops, because people need to. No, but like I'm a guy, but I'm all about like
Are ya?
respecting. Yeah, funny enough, yeah. But
You would have thought.
I'm all about like supporting women's spaces and stuff like just all that stuff, because it's hard, and I've got women in my life I absolutely love. I've got my sister. She's my best friend. You know,
Mhm.
I wouldn't be here without my sister. And then I've got my niece. You know, she's
Yeah.
she's 13 now. You know, like she's growing up, and I want nothing but safety for them and stuff. So I'm always gonna like champion
Yeah.
like like education and stuff, because I've known guys, I've worked with guys, and you know, who just have like
Creep written all over the face.
stupid, yeah, just no, just like
Oh.
stupid, like with the women's like only bus or whatever, you know, that I know they'd be thinking, oh, why should women get like a women's only bus? That's so unfair to like a man and blah. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
don't
It's
think
like,
of
what
it
the
as
fuck are you doing?
you can just go and get on any bus and like be fine.
Yeah, it's like, it's not
you're
hurting
thinking of-
you.
yeah, it's not aimed at you. It's not inconveniencing you, because you're not inconvenienced as much as women are inconvenienced. And like, I've never had that kind of viewpoint anyway, but I feel like I understand it a bit more than like I did when I was younger. But it's just like, we need to help people. People need to like be educated on shit, because it's gotten to a point where it's ridiculous now. That could be for many reasons.
Yeah.
Just
Everyone should feel
I don't want
safe,
to.
and it's
Yeah,
ridiculous that people don't.
everyone deserves to feel safe. Everyone
Exactly.
deserves to have a place in the community, and or like it. I don't see what's wrong about that statement. If people disagree with me, they can disagree with me. That's fine. But that's
No,
a
it's
weird.
fine though.
That's a weird thing to be disagreeing on.
That's a weird
like,
hill to die
I mean,
on.
yeah,
Yeah.
if you're gonna disagree with that, then I think it's
Then
probably a
that's
case.
not a me problem.
Yeah, I think that's a
Yeah.
case
like,
of you
taken
need
out
to think about your thoughts
Yeah.
and your
Like,
actions.
I don't think that's a me problem right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
And the thing is, it's like
They need to do some self-reflection.
in
Yeah,
in an
100%.
ideal world, we'll get to the point where women can go jog in the dark with their earbuds in and not have a single shred of fear. There will be, obviously, there's always, everyone's going to have that in the back of their head. Oh, you know, certain where you live, there might be wolves or whatever, like America.
Yeah,
That is an expected
yeah.
worry,
That is a normal,
or a
fully
crazy drunk driver. You know, you're gonna
reasonable thing.
the cars coming by and things. But I shouldn't be. I shouldn't have to worry about a man walking on the opposite side of the road to me in the opposite direction. I shouldn't have to be
Exactly.
thinking about what's going to come.
Yeah,
Which I haven't felt like that living here, luckily, because of where we are. But it is one of those things where it's like, if we can get to a point where, you know, women don't have that issue anymore, the community is going to be all the better for.
exactly. Yeah, 100%.
There's not going to be any of this bullshit about who's hurt who and who's done what. There will still be of course, there always will be. But at the very least, we can go, actually, we're not having this in this community. This isn't acceptable. Fuck off somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, either get your shit together or fuck off. It's as simple as that. And I quite like that there's more, like, it is bare minimum, I guess, but I like seeing more men speak out about that kind of thing, where they're like, actually, this is what's needed.
It
You
is
know,
bare
this
minimum.
private bus.
It-
It is
It
bare minimum,
is.
but
They
it's still
also
nice
need
to see.
I feel like what happened to like guys, man? Like I've had this internal thought, and I've got like quite a few like girl mates and stuff, right? And it's like, hey, what's happened to like guys and stuff? And I'm just like, you know
Chivalry.
what? I actually don't know, because like just even discussing shit like that with
Yeah.
like a guy and stuff, they'll take offense to it, and I'm just like, why are you being offended? Or like, why are you getting offended over like jokes and stuff and all that? It's just like, it's okay for us to make jokes and, you know, us to speak about certain things, but like when it comes to like a woman discussing all this shit, it's like if you don't fit the bill, then
Yeah.
they're not talking about you. So I'm
yeah.
thinking, like, you don't
Yeah,
need to
it's
get so
literally like
defensive about it. Why are you being so
literally
defensive?
if you're not causing the issue, you don't need to be worried about this kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
Exactly. It should.
I find that very telling in a person if they're
Ex-
yelling
yeah.
about like
Yes.
that kind of stuff. It's like, well, why are you so worried about women where the men around? Like
Yeah, because that's more telling of them. Like,
Yeah.
why are they being
Yeah.
so defensive?
It's just
that
like
is-
you've basically got a million fingers pointing one direction,
Yeah,
then, aren't
yeah.
you?
You
You're
basically
like,
just got a massive fucking spotlight on you.
Yeah,
then, and it's just
literally.
yeah,
like,
it's everyone just
hmm.
turns slowly just to look at this one person.
Yeah.
It reminds me of
God.
another link. I'd actually find another article and I've just found it again because it was a little boy, and a man is praising the actions of a mystery man and his young son after the pair sprung into action to stop a plane from being diverted. So
Ooh.
there's a Manchester Jet2 flight that was leaving Turkey on Friday, which was April 25th, and apparently descended into chaos as a rowdy passenger apparently turned violent after being refused alcohol.
Oh, for God's
Now,
sake.
I'm not going to make any assumptions here, but there was probably a drunk passenger who was then said, "You're getting cut off."
Yeah.
So apparently the man and the 8-year-old stepped in to calm the situation. The crew were minutes away from diverting the jet after, it was a woman that became violent
Oh my
after
God.
whiskey was confiscated off of her. So I wonder if she'd like snuck whiskey on or something. How
Mm.
mad is that? Like, I don't know if she was, because you can get
Rowdy
the
drunk
drinks on
women, guys.
her. I know, Jesus. He
You
explained how
stuff
the
it in your
jet.
bra.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
They probably don't check that often, depending on where you're leaving from. Explained that the jet had been due to depart at 8 p.m, but was 50 minutes late as around 20 passengers were transferred from another flight. So there was already disruption.
Is it just me, or would someone just fucking knock the bitch out?
Literally, just headbutt her.
Honestly.
Just like she's probably
Yeah.
so drunk that as soon as she closes her eyes, she's gonna be well under and well asleep. So someone just
actually-
whack her with a frying pan.
It actually says here she was already drinking her own alcohol when the stewardess came round. They told her, "You can't have that. We sell alcohol and you have had too much." So she'd actually sneaked her own bottle of whiskey on.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know if you're allowed to have whiskey in like your carry-on,
I
where
don't.
they trust you not to open it.
Yeah, I think
that make
like
sense?
when you go through the airport, you have like the tax-free or
glass
duty-free, don't you?
Yeah.
You're not allowed to open that till you're off the plane on the other side.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
not for drinking.
So the cabin crew had warned the woman the aircraft would be diverted if she did not calm down. So she got irate because they were trying to take her whiskey off her. And at that stage, a man sitting in row 5 asked the crew if he could intervene and speak to the woman. So he communicated with the crew. He said, "Please just give me 30 seconds with her." The stewardess said, "No, we have to divert the plane."
Oh.
The man then arranged for the disruptive passenger to sit beside him, swapping seats with another traveller. So he then took it under his own wing, swapped with another traveller to sit next to the woman.
That's risky business, that is.
It was very risky. For the remaining 3.5 hours of the flight, he stayed with her, talking and attempting to keep her calm. He listened to her, he talked to her, completely in control of the whole situation. The stewardesses couldn't thank him enough. They kept on saying, "You don't know how much saved Jet2." That's not the point, but the fact that an irate passenger could cause a whole issue for that entire plane, safety-wise.
I'm just impressed a man stepped up.
This is what I'm saying. This is.
Oh, come on now.
Sorry, Aiden.
I feel like the likes of
No, it's
maybe
fine.
Telly, Trungle, Bear. I think we're safe with them.
Oh, I
But
don't
in
know.
general-
Telly would be like, fucking kick this person off. Just vent them. Just get them off this plane.
Bear would probably do that. I'm not gonna lie. And then it goes on to say in the article, it wasn't just him, it was his 8-year-old son. He was talking
Aw.
to the lady as well, trying to help his dad calm her down. He was getting out football cards, constantly in conversation with her. When his dad went to the toilet, we asked him, "Are you okay?" "I'm just helping my dad," he says.
Aww.
I think that is like the cherry on fuck. Got this man coming in, right? Doing what a human should be doing, you know, helping a situation de-escalate where possible. And then to show that his son was also doing that voluntarily by the looks of
That's
things.
some good parenting.
Like, that is so freaking cute. Yes, Tal, that I was about to go on to that. I'm not gonna lie.
Then in America, they just duct tape them to seats. I mean, like, I feel like
Yeah,
that's
I
a decent reason too. To be fair,
Yeah, I saw that video.
I was
Getting
gonna say,
duct taped to a
I
chair.
think this is a situation where the duct tape needs to come out.
you're
So there are
touched.
people who maybe something's happened where their brain is just flipped, and there
Yeah.
have been situations.
I mean, she's
Okay.
probably going through some shit
Oh,
to get to that state
anything.
and be like that. That
yeah,
you have
If
to
you're
try
looking
and be sympathetic, right, to be able to understand, to help.
as somebody who's been to some degree in that reliance of alcohol situation, like I wouldn't say full on, but I was functioning. I understand, like, if you're getting to that point where you have to break airport rules,
yeah,
like airline rules, to sneak in your booze and get sloshed on a fucking flight. I
that's
don't
when
know how
you
long
know
this
you need
flight
to stop.
is, but yeah, that's when you know you've got an issue where you have to break these rules to do
Yeah.
it. I can't think of any rules, like any generic like social rules I broke when I was having a drink, because I'd always make sure that Bear was home. When it did get bad, it was after I stopped breastfeeding, so not like it was affecting Cub.
So you're
made
responsible for
sure-
your actions, and it's not harming or
Exactly.
affecting anybody.
Exactly. I made sure, because I grew up in that situation. But then it was when, like, it was when I realized how much I gained drinking wine and all
Oh,
that kind
yeah.
of thing. I was like, I really need to think about this now. I'd gone up 2 dress sizes in like 2 years.
Yeah.
So it's just one of these things where, you know, yeah, if you can't recognize that it's an issue when you're on an airplane and they're about to divert to get you off the plane in a different country, like
How many passengers were ready to drop kick her so they got to their flight?
I think somebody had their hand on the door handle.
Yeah,
ready
be
to
like,
just
we'll just kick
open.
her out. We'll fucking vent her. She's gone. We need to get where we need to get. The
yeah,
outrage.
I thought that was a good story to kind of bring in when we were talking about
Yeah, that
men in general, and it's the fact he's an 8-year-old, and he had that
Aw.
within him.
He's gonna be
You
a
know.
good child.
good parents. Yeah.
Good
Oh, yeah, I
parents,
feel like-
and that child's
yeah.
gonna be such a great person. You just know it, don't you?
And that's where I want, like, Cub to be. Like, he understands that like, we live in close proximity, right? And there have been times where he's been very young, you know, come into the bathroom with me, or he's been in the bedroom, and, you know, he's understood that, you know, my body is different to his and all this kind of.
Yeah.
And we have these age-appropriate conversations. And then last year, like, we had, you know, been trying to have another, and I was getting so excited, and I was like, kind of want to have these conversations with him, like, you know, how would you be if you had a little sister or a brother? And then he was like, oh, I want a little brother. And I'm like, well, you can't really choose.
It's not quite well like that.
Yes,
Can't
I
lie.
said-
That's a boy thing though.
That's
Yeah,
definitely one thing.
that's
He's like,
probably
I want a
true.
brother. He says, because he likes wrestling with his dad.
Aw.
I'm more artsy craftsy. He loves wrestling with his dad, and I was like, well, you've got some girl mates at school. Like, some of them are like in like younger class, some of them are in the older class. I get along well with them, kind of like a sister. And he was like, yeah. He says, what was it he said? He was like, they're at that age where some kids are being told pink is for girls, blue is for boys.
Oh.
And that gets spread around the school just because the way kids talk. It's not the ethos of the.
Yeah.
And we'd had the conversation. He was like, but I don't want my whole room to be pink. I
Aw.
was like, that's not gonna happen if it's a little girl. Like, your room will still be your room. Like, you have
Yeah.
to share until a certain age. But it was like, she might like yellow. She might like green. It doesn't matter. And we had the conversation about how you can like whatever colors. It just happens to like red and blue. which you know kind of gets to Bear a little bit because his family are Rangers supporters, and their football colours are red and blue.
Like, why,
So,
child? Why did you do this to
in-laws-
me?
The in-laws love it, but we're not a football family. So like when he's at the in-laws, his red and blue is everywhere when there's a football game on. But at home it's just red and blue. There's no like
Yeah.
football association. But it is one of those things. And then he's like, there's one day I was painting my nails, and he was like, "Oh, mummy, I like that red on your nail." I'm not like comfortable putting nail varnish on a child, like in general.
Yeah.
So like I'd have to do research. But then he was like, "Could I have red nails?" And I was like, "We could use face paint. I've
Yeah.
got that right here. I've got acrylic paint. You could do whatever you want to your hands, and as long as you scrub it off."
Yeah.
And I think there was a day we were doing just painting, and he got right in about all the colors, and like painted all
Aw.
of his fingers and off his arms, different things. He's loved it.
When my niece was like younger, like 5 or 6, you know, she was going through like little cheeky makeup phase type thing, and she's like, "Hey, Dun, can I paint your nails?" And I'm like,
Oh,
go on. So I fucking
loved
walked out
it.
with multicolored like
Loved
pink
it.
and yellow nails and shit, and went to work because I'm a guy. I was just like, how the fuck? I don't have nail polish remover. Like, what the fuck? And they were like, "Hey, Dun, why are your nails like that?" I'm just like, "Oh, you know, I was feeling a bit, you know, different." In reality, I know the reason. Like, I know the real reason, and I love that. I love, because I don't want kids myself, but I do enjoy like the joys of a child and stuff, and them like discovering the world and stuff. Love that shit, and I'm a big softie. I'm always gonna let my fucking niece and my nephew like do whatever, you know. Like I'll be the clown. That's fine. I'll be the joke of the situation. I'm completely fine with that.
Aw.
Brings them
Bear's very
joy.
much like that. Like I didn't know Bear when our niece and nephew were very young. I think our nephew was like 6 when we first started dating, which is mad because he's now like 14.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we've been together 8 years, and niece, she's a couple years older, so she's actually 17. No, she's 17 now, I think, or this year.
Nephew
She's
was
a couple
yeah.
years old, and it's one of these things where it's like he was that uncle for the longest time, and I think that's made me comfortable considering having a kid with him. He is the biggest child, Bear. Like, it's great. Like, I can go and do, like, it's not necessarily, I don't believe it's necessarily like a mum dad, but I just want to sit and enjoy myself. I'll push you on the swing. But Bear is like full on parkour around all the furniture, like choke slamming his nephew, kicking a ball about. And he is full on, and it's great because we're like two sides of the same coin. But I did say to him, I was like, if, like last year when we were talking about it, I was like, if this turns out to be a little girl, you're going to be so fucked. You're gonna have your little boy in one arm trying to like tombstone you, and then you're gonna have your little girl in the other paint your fingernails.
Yeah, literally.
If that's how they turn out, if that's being, you're gonna be like pulled in 2 different directions. They could end up being the exact same.
Yeah.
Like both liking wrestling. Then you're gonna have 2 wrestlers. You're gonna have a tag team
Yeah.
coming at you. 2 of them against one of you. I'm like, I can't wait. Yeah,
that would be
nephew's
pretty
6,
funny.
I think our niece was about 8 or 9 or something when we first started dating. So like, our nephew, when we first started dating, was the same age that Cub is now, which is wild.
Aww.
It's wild to think about. Like, he was just a baby.
Here's something for the parents and the big softie in the room. Apparently, there we go. Australia has brought out a new rule. They have recently banned social media from under 16s.
I heard that.
I heard about that.
Yeah,
so
it's caused a big thing.
It is a big thing. I mean, look, I'm a big believer of technology is going forward, and kids should be learning how to use a phone and how to use a laptop and whatever else. But I think it's more for etiquette and safety. For learning how to, because we were big in internet safety when I worked at school, obviously for obvious reasons, because they're all teenagers. You can't stop them, just teach them how to do it safely.
Yeah.
For social media, I don't know. I feel two types of way about the ban because one, it's a good thing. It's completely cut them off from like what's obviously, you know, it's a predator pool. For one,
Yeah.
it's causing like there have been so many. I don't want to say the word, but there's been so many unfortunate events happened to teenagers
Yeah,
because of social media, and
Yeah.
so many things have been lost because of that. But I also feel like it's one of those things where it's like outright banning it isn't the way to go. I do feel like maybe
It needs more regulation. Like
maybe a temporary ban. If they said it was temporary ban, I could do that, and then they were like, right, we're working on making this more restricted situation, and then they can have access back. But I mean, I say it's down to the parents, but again, not parents are actually.
Yeah, it's down
savvy.
to the parents. I think I wouldn't say go down the route of having like a, you know, preteen/teen social media only like version, you know, like YouTube Kids, because that either you're gonna have to have more regulation with like IDs and stuff, which is already a big thing
Pain
for
in the
the
ass.
internet at the minute,
Mm.
yeah. Or what this just come to my mind, like maybe having that profile linked to their parents like profile, so everything that their kid is reacting to, like have a kids only one type thing, or not kids, but you know, like teenager only one.
Yeah.
But have all of their activity be able to be viewed by their parent.
I feel like
So-
that'd end very badly though, because
Do you
teenagers,
think?
they don't want their parents looking at their shit.
No,
And
I
they would
understand
flip,
that.
and you'd end up with children or teenagers walking out and not coming home because their parents are spying on them and don't want to be told what to do.
I guess, yeah, I guess I'm just
This is
like
where
spitballing ideas.
Yeah.
I've been on both sides, like with both of you guys' opinions, because they're very on different ends of this very same spectrum. From my experience as like a support worker, I've been the eldest child, like whatever else I've had, obviously things with the training that we had as well, and obviously a parent, I've got to consider these. That's my kid's game. He's it's one of these things where for me, like, right, give you a real life example. Cobb has access to YouTube. He uses my YouTube account as a main, but he's also got a kids account. He doesn't use the kids account very often because they don't have the creators that he likes. Plays Minecraft. Like it's quite restricted. You don't get the same, like it's not decent quality. It's a lot of AI stuff in there as well. So he mostly uses my account, and I've said to him from the get-go, if you're using this YouTube, I can see what you're watching when you're watching it, and if it's something that you're not allowed to watch, we will have to have a discussion about it. And there have been times where I've said to him, like, you're not allowed to watch this certain YouTuber because they feature children on their account. I don't let him watch anything with children on it unless it's like a Nickelodeon or Disney or something. It's an official account. But even then, when it's a random YouTube account and the children, it's a case of exploitation, whether it's intentional or not. So I'm like, I don't want him watching stuff. I don't want. That's fine. There have been times.
Can I ask, like, why you don't want him to watch stuff featured with kids on it?
So I don't know if you've seen things about these parent bloggers.
They use the children for
Right. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You know where I'm coming from. So it's just it's a situation where
the Daddy of 5 situation.
Yes,
Man,
exactly
that broke
and then,
my heart.
what was it? There was 8 passengers. I think was a recent one. She actually got arrested.
Wow.
That's been a whole thing on the internet. Like I only know this because when I was pregnant, I was looking up family vloggers because I didn't have a community around me. This was my way. I didn't have my mum. I didn't have my gran. I didn't have anybody. This was how I learned what the current parenting situation compared to when I was 15, 16 and I was technically a parent. It's very different. From my experience of having been like, I was also like, I had issues as a teenager online where adults had access to me. I feel like having that honest conversation with your child or teen and saying, look, you can have access to this. This is fine. This is age appropriate for you. However, I need to let you know that I will be occasionally checking in. When you get to a teenage age, like my niece's age, for example, or my nephew's age, they've had their own phones for a while. The way that their parents handle it is they do a check-in with them. Can I have a look at your social media? You know, showing an interest, mostly. Are these your friends? Like, do you like hanging out with them? Are they from school? Do you want to arrange something? Do you want to invite them to a party? Whatever it is. Showing an interest can come across differently as like intrusion. And I totally get the intrusion thing. My mum was
100%.
like, she was awful. She hated the fact that I found somebody on an online forum and I'd be bitching about her. This is when she had her alcohol issue and things were going downhill. I had this one person I would speak to and vent to because I couldn't speak to anybody in my real life. And she found out because my sister had taken my phone when I was sleeping and read all my text messages. So I can understand that side of things where it can feel intrusive. But it also needs to come from a place of, I'm your parent, I'm in charge of your family. We need to have this constructive conversation of, look, you can have access to this, I'm happy to pay for this, or pocket money, however. But also be like, look, I need to make sure there's nobody getting access to you and hurting you. And then we can have that conversation. If my mum had come to me and said, look, there's this person, I know that you're talking to people on your Xbox, you know, can we sit together and chat about these people? Like what are their names, where they're from? Like, showing an interest in my interests, I think I would have had a very different conversation with her about things that were happening. And even now, like with Cub, he'll come to me and he'll be like, oh, sorry, Mum, I came across this video about this person. I think this person was building like a Lego house in Lego. And there was like a 10-second bit where their child was in the shot. And they just ran into the shot and ran back out again, but the guy was house and he's like, sorry, Mum, there was this video and this child was in it. And I'm like, okay, in this context, that's okay, because this child isn't being used in the video. So then we have that further conversation of, if there's a video where, say, it's an older person and they've got their adult child working with them, that's fine. Over 18, making decisions, things like that. I can completely understand, though, where the worry about, especially in bigger cities, it seems to be quite common where a teenager will have a strop and wander off and things can happen. We didn't have that where I lived. We couldn't just walk away because there's no street lights. We couldn't just leave the house and walk. We had nowhere to run. But I did see that a lot in my peers who lived in the city, buggered off to their mate's house and they wouldn't answer their parents' call ever.
I think
it is a concern.
That's I think also some part of that's probably, I wouldn't say genetics, but I don't know how it plays into genetics. But like, per se, my mum lived on a farm and stuff. When something bad happened in the family, they would run through the fields, just run. And she would get chased down. And stuff like that. And then like anything that happened with my mum, I would either run to my room, lock my door, and stuff like that. But my mum was always still so open with me, but I would still try and hide so many things from her, even though there was no reason to. Like, she was so sweet, so nice, so open. We all know Scoob. We love her.
Yeah.
She's the nicest person ever. And for some reason, as a teenage child, I would do whatever I could to get away from her and hide secrets from her.
And that again, like, I mean, Cobb is only at the first stages of developing, but he has started reaching that part of growing up where they start learning that they can push things and
Yeah, they can rebel a bit.
manipulation. Kids, as far as I know, I think it's like up to the age of 5. They don't. There's no manipulation. It's just communication. At this age that Cobb is at, I'm starting to see manipulation coming in, where he's trying to test these boundaries and sort of figure out what I know, which I know fucking everything because I'm around him 24/7. Like, I wasn't born. Obviously, I'm at that point where I'm like, my mum actually knew what was going on.
Yeah, that's it. You see everything in hindsight, right?
Yes.
You're like, shit.
Yes, Tal. It's almost like a teen rite of passage. I feel like there's certain things that.
But then isn't banning the internet the best thing to do? Because that's the biggest thing that causes them to rebel. Like, my biggest thing was comparison. I used to compare myself so much. I used to think they were cooler, they knew better than my mum did. Like, because it was the internet and it was my friends on the internet, whatever they said was better than someone who's been around longer, done it all before, and knows 1,000 times more than what I know. But when you're younger, you don't listen to that. You listen to what's on the internet and what your friends say, what your friends do.
They're your peers.
And I feel like that's probably where I would agree with it. You have to be past a certain mental maturity where you're not comparing yourself. You're not in that frame of mind where they know better. Like, you need to respect your parents more. And I feel like at that age, you're then mentally can be exposed to this big, scary, wide world. Now, I guess in some parts, it's like, okay, well, your mother cuddling them too much, or you're withholding them from the world. But I think till you're 16, you shouldn't have to go through any of it anyway. Like,
I think there's a lot to be said for that. Like, there's a lot of differences, like, for example, for my niece's peers compared to when I was in high school 100 years ago. It's like, like, I'm 30 and it wasn't even that long ago I was in with all that teenage angst. We had terrible makeup, terrible hair, the amount of hairstyles I find on the internet, I'm embarrassed. Like, it's so different now because the kids have access to the internet and makeup tutorials and how there's different hairstyles that they can ask. And there's a lot more. I feel like a lot of kids have a lot more freedom of expression now, which is great. I feel like permanently banning access to knowledge like that is quite difficult because social media allows for, and it is a fucking cesspool, do not get me wrong.
Yeah.
Social media allows for connection of like-minded people.
True.
Yes, we have that in person 100%, and that should be brought back in. But because of the way things have gone, there aren't community centers, there are no youth clubs, there's nothing like this, like what I used to have when I was younger.
But
we
then
don't even
isn't
have that here
because of the internet? Because
it
we
is
have the
for sure a
internet, we don't
mixture.
have the communities. Where if we
But then
didn't
we've
have the
also got to-
internet, we'd go out and socialize and have friends and
We've also
communities.
got to remember who was funding these things. Where was the funding coming from? That was all.
True.
There is a reason why there are no bright colored cars on the streets. There's a reason why fruit trees aren't being planted. There's a reason why blossom trees aren't seen very often anymore. And I'm not going to put my conspiracy hat on, but
I was gonna say, are we hopping into conspiracy theories?
no, I'm not going to put my conspiracy hat on because I'm going to spare you the details.
Save
there's
this
a
for another
reason.
day.
And it is easier to keep everyone in the same basket and in the same sort of in the same lane. But I do agree with you. Like, social media needs so much overhaul. Like, I feel like the owners of CEO, they're not completely like to blame for everything that goes on,
I mean,
because it's not like.
conspiracy hat
However,
theory. Maybe they are.
maybe they are. Maybe that's the way they like it. But they get money from this. I mean, if you look at Twitter, for example, like this Egypt gets fuck tons of money just from that one platform.
Yeah.
And like if you look at like Facebook, who own like Meta, like Instagram and all that kind of thing, WhatsApp, fuck ton of money, and we don't pay for these services. They get this through advertising, and this advertising is what influence. Look at TikTok, for example. Literally every third video on my TikTok is a sales post,
Yeah.
one way or another. It is all about getting them to consume.
Well, now because it's owned by America. So,
Oh, it is
and then
mental.
like
Mental.
with like Twitter and stuff, you can buy like Twitter, whatever it's called now, or fucking
Yeah,
what,
it's like the little
X
check mark.
premium thing or whatever, and it's
Yeah.
just like.
It's one of these things.
I love
where
being
it's
oblivious
all-
to these things. Kelly goes to me, it's like, have you seen this? Have you seen that? Have you heard about this? Have you heard about No.
Yeah,
I don't live on
No,
the
I would
internet
not.
anymore.
I would not encourage it. The only reason I really know I am chronically online, I had to learn to protect myself because I was never taught
Yeah.
to protect my peace. And like I had a wee minty bee last week about how the way the world was going, and then I was like, I think I'm due.
I'm
one
having
of
a
these
crisis.
things.
This'll be why.
Is we learn what doesn't work, and then like you guys at the moment don't have kids, so you don't necessarily have that worry, but there is that worry for the young.
Oh, this
For
is
me,
like probably
my
the reason
worry
why
is-
we don't have at the moment.
But-
Like
but
me and
that's the
Trungle was
thing,
on
it's
about
like-
how it's like the world and the state it is. Hence why
Yeah.
we're trying to
if
things
you
as light
if you
as
don't
possible.
worry about other people's kids, that's when community gets fucked.
This
Like,
is it,
you
yeah.
need- you need to
Exactly. Yeah.
know-
Like
you need to
I-
know and worry, and
I
Yeah.
understand why, like, you know, people might not like trust a big bearded dude, like, to be caring about their kids or whatever. But
yeah,
I genuinely, if a child came up to me and like needed help or whatever,
Yeah.
I'd 100% be there.
immediately.
It's just like it's
Without
just
question.
the right thing to do. It's
And
the
the
right
thing
thing
is-
to do.
Schools are already under a lot of pressure, right? But
Mm.
there is a reason why. I mean, schools back in the day when they were first created, they were created to teach children how to work in factories. That's the base. Right?
Yeah.
That's basically what schools were. Schools now, why have schools now incorporated mathematics? Why have schools now incorporated textiles and home economics and economics and all these other classes, languages? Because there has been a need for it now that the world has opened up for the
Yeah.
younger generation, right? For me, I feel I'm a big believer of learning social etiquette in schools. There should be a course or a class once a month, or somebody comes in as like an extra every so often. Sometimes we'd get what was it called? An assembly once a month with the local priest or the local pastor, whoever was free, to talk about Jesus. I think we could have somebody coming into schools once a month to talk about social etiquette and consent and, you know, making friends in general. I do feel like a lot of these skills, we were talking about skills for hunting earlier, a lot of these skills were lost because we didn't need them at the time. Our parents, for whatever reason, like my parents never taught me because A, my dad's in Egypt, and B, my mum didn't know how to sew. She knew how to cook, she didn't know how to sew or mend anything like carpentry, but my granddad did. He could have taught me if he hadn't passed away when I was very young. And for whatever reason, he didn't teach my mum, probably because he worked away a lot.
Mm.
So it sort of knocks on to the generation. But with social media being so new, I feel like there could be a monthly course that the teenagers have to take for social media safety. and there are charities out there, but if the government were to help fund that and implement that into schools, I feel like that would help with media literacy. And at the end of the day, if the parents aren't doing any help, then that's up to the parents. Unfortunately, there will always be some.
Yeah.
But if we can make it so that community is not accepting of, these Egypt men, we're not accepting of bullying on the internet, we're not accepting of these companies pushing these products to young teenage girls, like makeup, for example. It's one of those things where it's not accepted. Don't fucking do it.
Yeah.
Then theoretically, that then goes down. This is, like I said earlier, I'm in two minds about the social media ban because, I don't see how that's going to benefit, say, my nephew, for example, because his parents are doing what they're meant to be doing, and he's a very, astute young man, I like to believe. He's also a bit of a dick. He's got that
Young
teenage
man.
angst where he's at that stage where he's like, why are you asking me to help you with this? Like, I'm too cool to be helping you. It's like, I'm still his auntie. Like, he'll still refer to me as his auntie in front of his mates. But it's like, we did the Mother's Day weekend, and his mum asked him for the tray of strawberries, and he was like, get them yourself. And I'm like, boy,
Excuse me.
if I had my cane in my hand right now.
I respect your elders.
But it's literally that thing where it's like, he's not a bad kid.
No.
But there are his peers who are like a bit more, let's just say, boys will be boys kind of situation online. They might be like, actually, here's this different perspective that their parents don't know shit about social media, is what I'm trying to go with this.
Yeah.
Their parents aren't teaching them that media literacy. So I guess what I'm saying is it's a community effort.
Yeah, I guess parents just need to also learn and teach themselves a bit more about it. But I guess, as you say, like, they're just relying on old factors and not getting with the new.
Trying to rely on other people to teach.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, if you care so much about your kid, you'd learn these things, right? Stop being a laser.
Yeah.
What I find really funny is that I'm not going to go deep into it because it is a huge controversy, but I believe it's safe enough. There are certain things that we're taught in high school, and we're taught about our bodies. And there are people out there that don't like that teenagers are being taught about their bodily functions.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.
But then you realize these parents are the same ones not teaching their children about, like, there are boys out there that don't know that their future girlfriends have a period. Like, they think that they can hold it in.
Yeah.
And that
it's a choice or something.
Yeah, I've come across it where
yeah.
young lads believe that you can just hold it in like pee.
Oh,
There are
no.
people out there
Or that you choose to do it and choose to have it.
Yeah, there are literally people out there on the internet that have said, why have you planned your wedding around your period? Can you just hold it or like schedule your wedding? It's like, what?
Oh.
But it's one of these things, and I know it can be a taboo subject for people, but it's a natural
I feel like it just should not be a taboo thing.
Please teach your kids about...
This is it. It's like, it should not be a taboo subject. Full stop. Like, men, and like when they first start to discover their bodies and how things feel and what happens when you feel like this, like that shouldn't be shied upon. Like, boys shouldn't be getting embarrassed if they've got a boner in class. Like, it just shouldn't.
And it's one of these things, exactly
be laughed at or anything. It's just normal.
That is literally, and it's on the same coin on the opposite side. If a lass hasn't, realized what day of the month it is, and red mark on her trousers.
Like, a little lad should be able to go up to her and be like, "Oh, look, you're bleeding."
Yeah,
like maybe we should
get a jumper around your waist.
Yeah, and like, oh, we should get a teacher to help or something like that, or someone to help find something for you. Like,
there was, what was it I was watching? I think it was just a clip. I think it was fucking TikTok, And it was like, the gist that I got was like, it was like a medical surgery, like a clinic thing that we had. And in the video, there's a couple of adults in the clinic, and they're like medical staff, and they're just chatting away. And then in the entrance comes a young girl and an even younger boy that turned out to be brother and sister. And the boy comes in. The girl does not say a word. The boy comes in and says, "I think my sister's dying." And the woman standing there, the doctor, she's like, "What do you mean? Like, what do you mean dying?" She's standing there, like, is breathe? Like, what's happening? And then he's like, "Oh, she's bleeding." And obviously, it turns out that she'd had her first period,
Yeah.
but she didn't know what was going on. He saw the blood and thought, "Oh my God, you're dying," because blood means death to a lot of young children. And obviously, she just needed to have that conversation. Turns out that behind it all, it was a single father, and he didn't know how to have that conversation,
Yeah.
even though she was reaching that age. And I'm like, this is why it needs to also be in school, because at the end of the day, if this education is not mainstream, there's going to be a huge
It is in school though, is
gap.
it not? Like, is
It
it
is,
not
it is.
mandatory?
Slightly, yeah.
It is mandatory for high school. I think in primary school, like P7, they still have some conversation.
Year 6, I remember we first did our like sex education type thing.
But
Yeah.
then, like,
It
how
was-
many guys had sex education and still did not take a word? They were too busy laughing about fucking condoms.
No. Yeah,
I did.
oh, yes, but no. Right? So how they did it in schools, in like most schools, is when they came to talk about like the periods and stuff, they took the girls to a different room because they were
Which,
talking about like
again, that's
women's bodies and
so
stuff.
wrong.
But like us
yeah.
guys, we're just like, why are they going? What are they learning about? We wanted to know what they
Yeah.
were learning about, but we were kept from that.
Yeah.
Like
Which
I
is
was
so
kept from that
wild.
for the longest time. I didn't know about periods and stuff until really my sister got her first period, and then like because she was in school when she had hers,
Mhm.
and like that's when my mum and my dad kind of like told me about it, right? Like this is why she was taken out of class and stuff. She's okay, and I was like, oh, okay, but like.
But what is
Yeah,
it? Like, what's happening? Like,
yeah, because I was
Yeah.
worried, like I heard my sister had been taken out of class, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck?
yeah.
Is
And
she okay?
It's one of
Like,
those things. It is a knock-on effect, like you said with your sister, and like I kind of had an idea of what was going on with my first. But,
I was
I had
excited
3
to get mine.
people.
I was ready and waiting, raring to
Oh
go.
yeah, all my friends had theirs before me. I was raging.
Yeah.
I was like, come on! And then as soon as it started, I was like, please stop, please stop. But it's one of those things. It's like I didn't know that stress could stop your cycle.
Oh God,
So,
tell me about it.
When I was stressed, I think I was with my ex at the time before my long term before I met Bear. I was with my ex, and I'd been through university. I'd gone through the medical education. I was nearly a nurse, and I didn't know that stress could period. And I was so stressed, I didn't have a period for like 6 months. And I was like, huh, I'm irregular anyway, but like I usually have one a month.
Mm.
Oh shit, I'm pregnant. Like that whole fear
Of like,
of like,
ah,
holy
shit.
fucking shit. Negative test. I went to the doctor and they were like, have you had some stress? I'm like, uh-huh. Okay, that's why. And it was this whole thing. And I had no idea. But again, in university, it's one of these things where it's expected that you know these things. So they don't always cover.
Yeah,
a
I
lot
don't
of
know
these quote-unquote
where or
smaller
how
things.
I even knew that. I just like knew it
You
from
can pick these
something
things up.
somewhere, and
Yeah.
I was there. I was. It sounds kind of big-headed, but if anyone had anything like that, or my friends or girls would come to me being like, "This has done this. Why is this like this?" And I'm there being like, "Oh, well, have you been through this? Has this happened?" And I'm like, I have no idea where I gained this knowledge, whether my mum told me at some point somehow, if a friend that had read a book had told me or something somehow. But it was one of those things like, there is so many factors. Like,
Oh, yeah.
freaking, eating too much fatty stuff constantly
Yeah.
affects it. But
Yeah.
why is it so easily affected? It's one of those things where, like, I recently didn't have a period. I, like, skipped a whole month. Did I worry because I knew what was happening? No. But for anyone that didn't know what was happening, yes, they'd
Probably.
be terrified.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm just there
Absolutely.
being like, oh yeah, no, I mean, like, clearly was more stressed than I thought I was and didn't realize it. And then I end up with 2 periods in 1 month. Yay
fuck
for
that.
me, I guess. So you're there being like, you don't know. And then, like, you get guys being, I mean, Kelly is amazing, but you do get guys that are like, why is that? Oh my god, why have you baby trapped me? And you're like, no, this is just something that happens. And then they're panicking, blaming, and then it can just end up as a whole disaster. And that's all just because they weren't informed. They didn't know. No one ever told them.
Haven't got a fucking clue. I'm laughing at Artic.
Yeah.
I'm saying Kimmy's gonna make him bald.
More than likely, women are stressful.
With stress. Yeah. Yeah, it's just one of those things. There's so much nuance to all this stuff with restrictions and things.
Workshops for consent, puberty, feelings, communication, online safety, and loads of stuff like that. But we're hugely funded.
Yeah,
I mean,
I like that.
Again, should it just be workshops, or should that be constructive lessons?
Oh, it should absolutely be constructive lessons. Like I said, like high school. I don't know what it's like in high school, right? But in high school, we had different periods of classes. We had like 6 periods a day, and it was like 2 in the morning break, and then I think it was like we had 1 lunch, 1, and then I can't remember how it worked out. It worked out 6 a day. And we'd have break and lunch, and that was fine. Sometimes we'd have, like, my schedule would be like I'd have a double period of science once a week, whereas I'd have like 3 days of the week I'd have 3 different periods of mathematics, and that's just how they work the classes out. I don't see why they can't have like a basic first year school, a basic class put in where you have like a period a week where you're, or a single period a month where you have a class on basic biology.
Yeah.
The very basic biology, and it's not just mixed in with science, because there's a lot that has to be covered in science class, because that's all 3 sections, because that's chemistry, physics, and biology.
Yeah.
But you have 1 class of biology, and you're talking about the human body specifically in its base form.
Yeah.
And then I think is it like 3rd or 4th year you get to, like, I think it's like 16 that you get to choose your classes. I know it's different age names for you guys, but it's like you reach 16 in that, and you get to choose your classes of what you want to do for your examination. And I feel like that should be possibly a mandatory class that you have to take throughout your final years of school, because I don't feel like sending these teenagers out into the world, into the working, lacking this basic knowledge about the human body is gonna bring success. Because in the ideal world of these conservative type people that don't like sex in school, or don't like sex education in school, sorry, they're also the people that want these kids to go on, have a career, have a house, and make a...
Yeah.
There's so much
They want
fear
increased
around
population
all
on
that.
this, that, and
Yeah,
the other.
if you want the success in the population growth and all that, make it a safe environment, make it a manageable environment, give them the knowledge and the tools that they need to make informed decisions, instead of just chucking them out into the world and expecting them to breed and work.
Yeah.
That's essentially what it boils down to. I think that's why my dad was a little bit shocked with me. Like, he's been married twice and had so many girlfriends in the middle. And there's always been a joke that he's probably got multiple children out in the world somewhere.
That you never even know about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I remember him being really funny about the fact that I didn't marry Bear before having Cub. Like, it was kind of like a haha joke, like, oh, you're pregnant now, like, when's the wedding?
Yeah.
And it's like he hadn't even proposed to me at that point. And then when he did propose, like, it was this whole excitement. Okay.
Yeah.
There's this expectation that I was going to get married. I don't know if it's because, you know, I was a girl or whatever else, but maybe if I was his son, it would be different. But it's like things happen in different ways. I think if I pushed myself to stay on the career, house, marriage, family track, I probably would have worked myself to death.
Yeah. Yeah.
The way things have gone, that's just not worked out. And I'd like to think I'd be able to go back to work. I will realistically probably never work in a regular job again. But I want to be able to raise Cub in a way that he's respectful and kind of any partners, knowing consent and being around another person's space. It is so basic. Like,
Yeah.
Even teach kids, like, you know, don't be in their space if they don't want you in their space.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to be around somebody who doesn't want to be.
Feels like Scottish is showing off what for.
I'm sorry.
What's she showing off?
I'm showing off that I
being
think
a
too much
decent
in my
mother.
day. I mean, I like to think so. I always ask bare consent. Unless I've had a bottle of wine.
After the fact.
Was that okay for you, dear? But yeah, it is important to be teaching these things. And again, if we go back to, like, as an example, if we pull out, let's say we take textiles out of the mix, like home economics and textiles, where you're learning how the basics of cooking and sewing and whatever else. If you're taking that entire section out of the school, which is what a lot of schools, you're then leaving a whole chunk at a loss.
Yeah.
Because their parents are like, oh, they're learning this, we don't need to teach them. Or maybe they're working 3 jobs and they don't have the time to teach them. Maybe they want to. Like, I won't be able to teach Cub how to kick a football and play football because I don't have the capacity.
Yeah.
But at school he can. I can bring him to clubs and he can go to school with his mates. You know, there's these things where it's like, if they didn't have football, and he probably would only know the basics of how to kick a ball.
Yeah.
You know? He wouldn't know the rules of football, how to play in a team and all this kind of... It is important, and when you start pulling stuff out that are basic life skills, that's when you get a huge gap, you know?
Then
Yes, Arctic, shut up.
as you said earlier as well, like, schools were there to teach people how to, I don't know, for example, like freaking mine or what to do once you got a farm, this and the other.
That's what we need to do.
Like,
we need to get the kids back down into the fucking mines, right?
The
But,
kids
like-
yearn for the mines.
18-hour shifts.
Honest, but the thing is though, they had dedication. I mean, not to say
They
you
had
use them
food
today,
stamp.
but
We need to get.
they get more and
4-year-olds
more
back in the
lazier.
chimneys.
They get more and more lazier. But no, like the schools should be more appropriate. I mean, what they are teaching, and I understand looking at it from a teacher's point of view, is it's problem solving, right? It's overcoming a situation that you're faced with, which is a massive part in adult life. But there is also very pressing matters that most parents don't even know how to do themselves. So
Plus, kids are little shits as well.
yes,
Kids
right, I
can be
need to go
little
to a
shits.
toilet break. You guys,
That's a good point. I'm gonna go for a quick pee break.
right? Let's
Okay.
have a break. Be right back.
Well, I'll tell you what I told Pom earlier. Actually, she's already heard it. So we were talking about, like, how, you know, the like those little villages and stuff with people with dementia and all that stuff, and people working there. It's like a community. Well, on a similar subject of working and stuff, I saw a video the other week, and it made me smile. And it was about, I think it's in America somewhere or Asia. It's somewhere. But there's this restaurant, and it employs exclusively people who have Down syndrome there as their workforce, right? And obviously they've got like the managers and stuff. They don't have like Down syndrome and stuff, but they employ servers and people prepping the food and all that, and they all have Down syndrome, and they're the happiest people in the world. They're happy to be there. They're happy to like provide a smile whilst they're like providing a service for these people, you know, for people paying and stuff like that. And they just look like they're having like the best time in the world, and it was so fucking cute. It made me like really smile. I was like, my gosh, that is
there is a lot of
really wholesome.
now. There's some in Netherlands and Belgium, USA, France, the UK, Argentina. That's the places I'm reading right now that do it. There's one in Leeds, one in Northamptonshire, one in South Jakarta. Jesus. Buenos Aires, Argentina, Leeds, Paris.
Yeah, it's like so amazing to see. Because it's just like, they're so happy to be there. And people are going there for that reason as well. So, they know what to expect and stuff. And it just gives people a sense of community and a sense of belonging. Yeah, like a purpose.
They can live a normal life their own way.
Yeah, as normal as possible. Like letting them just experience normal things that we take for granted.
Yeah, that's the reason I do like about it, due to the simple fact of they get to live lives just because, and it means way more to them.
Exactly, just because. They take it more serious because they're loving it. Like they appreciate it way more than it. I complain about work all the time.
They grow up being told you might not ever be able to do this. You won't.
Exactly.
Ever
They get told.
They wake up with the barriers already. But when the gates start to open for them, it's like, hell yeah, your life is getting better. You can do way more stuff. Everything's so much more accessible. They love it.
That's where more like people in charge of these companies and stuff need to actually look at that and actually be like, they can do this. There is something that someone can do, right? Like, and I think it's our responsibility as like more abled people to be able to facilitate that for them. Because we owe it. We owe it to them to, to want for them to live a normal life. And like, there's some of the. I've worked with like quite a few people with Down syndrome. They're so funny. They're so funny. Like, it's like just
some of the nicest people you can ever meet.
Yeah,
and the people that take the purse, it's like, what are you doing? They are some of the nicest, kindest people you'll ever meet. They're possibly some of the only people who will not lie. They'll be themselves 110% of the time.
Yeah.
They just want to live their life. They just want to do things.
This guy likes trains. Fuck it, he's gonna make sure you know that he likes trains.
Hell yeah!
Are you on about equal opportunity rights or something here?
I was telling them. I was just telling the stream that story I told you earlier about the Down syndrome people who are working in the restaurant and stuff.
Yes.
I just thought I'd bring that up. And I just kind of went on a tangent where I was kind of saying us more abled people need to facilitate more stuff like that for people who have that condition and other conditions to help them live like a more normal life, because we owe it to them, you know? Like we owe it to like get to know these like people and stuff, right? Because that's the sense of community. That's like, you know, they're no different from us, they just have this condition, you know, and it's like they don't deserve
what
to
we're
live
learning
differently
is
from us.
people need to be nicer to each other, and we all need a
Mhm.
sense of community more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always say, ever since I became like I've always been fucked up in the brain, right? But ever since I became physically disabled, I've realized, and it's been a sentiment in the disabled community as well. Once the less able in the community are recognized and supported, everyone benefits.
Hmm.
So
Everyone
if you look
benefits.
at things like
Yeah.
lowered pavements, accessible buildings, fixing these potholes and things like, it affects the disabled community, and if you're fixing it, the disabled community benefits and everyone else benefits. Car drivers, parents with buggies, all these kinds of things, everyone benefits from, you know, a clean and safe community when you boil it down.
Except the council, because that means they actually have to do something.
And
Fuck the
spend
council.
money.
But that's
Spending
where, like,
money?
Having
Actually
Money,
working?
money, money.
this is where like I'll see like buildings and they don't have like in the year 2026 they don't even have disabled access, you know, like they
Year
don't
of
have like
our Lord.
wheelchair access and stuff. I'm
Yes.
like, what the fuck is actually going on? Like, come on, man.
I mean,
that's
mm.
basic shit right there.
my
Like,
work
come on
doesn't,
now.
but my work is in an old fucking almost Victorian house that's freaking licensed. So
Ooh,
you're
it's
there being like,
haunted.
oh, it is 100%
My
haunted.
my
But
old
it's like,
solicitors was like that. Mm-hmm.
it's just one of those things, isn't it, where you're like, some
There's
things are
some
excusable,
buildings.
but most of the time
Yeah.
it is not. Like, just be
Some
better people.
some buildings.
It's
I
like
don't know about you
disabled
guys.
people have teeth too.
Well, there's
Oh, do
400
they?
dentists out there that are on ground floor, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know about you guys down south, but up here, if you look at a building funny, it starts crumbling.
Oh,
So
yeah.
like, if you,
Oh, yeah.
there are some that if you try to fuck with it, it will damage the integrity, like the foundation.
I feel
yeah.
like
I
adding a ramp on the front side of a building is not gonna damage the
It's
integrity
more,
of
it's
the
more
building.
also the space. It's like,
Yeah, it
we're
has to
like,
be at a
it's a
certain
lot of
incline as
terraced
well.
houses, or a lot of what used to be a big house split into like 3 different
Then
houses.
you know what? Take the steps out and just have it as a ramp.
Just one big ramp.
It'd be a very
Yeah.
steep ramp.
It'd be a
That's the thing.
very steep ramp, and it'd be a death trap in the snow and ice.
Yes.
I've seen some really funny posts, right? I joined,
That's
I
fine.
don't remember what Reddit it was. I found a Reddit channel where they were doing like, was it like accessible fails or something? And I was like, what the fuck is accessible fails? And
You know
literally,
about like
it-
ones where it's like
People
a
have made it
toilet
accessible,
door
but
Yeah.
right next to the.
literally, and it's like these ramps and some of these are like literally like climbing Mount Everest. Never mind. Literally, I'm kid you not. No rails, nothing. Full on ramp that's open to the elements with stairs going up the middle. And it's like, never mind trying to walk up that. Fuck going up that in a fucking wheelchair.
yeah,
Even
Yeah.
a motorized wheelchair. You know.
we've got
And
an
again,
excuse.
the
These,
prices of these, like, if motorized wheelchairs weren't so expensive, I would have had one ages ago.
mm,
The one that I need for my needs, where I can actually have it adjusted to my size and things, it's going to cost me around £2,000.
really?
And
How
yes,
the hell have
I-
all these other people got them? Like, I'm not
So-
saying any or generic or like assuming.
No,
But you guys
it-
all know who I mean by
it
how the
makes
hell are
sense.
they that expensive and then certain people can afford them
so
or go around on
I
them?
have, like, I get I get disability payments, and it's through the Scottish disability scheme that just came out, and it's one of these things where, yes, if I was able to put that entire payment every month aside, it would probably take me maybe a year to save up if I put all that money aside every month. But the fact that we also have bills, and the money we get from, because Bear's my carer and we have a young child and things like that, the money we get from Universal Credit doesn't cover everything.
Does Bear get carer's allowance?
He does, yeah. We've had everything up to the hilt. So we get we have like a shared furnace for our area, which is how we get our heating and hot water. That costs me around £200 a month.
What?
Yeah, and on top of that, I have my electricity, which is about £40 a month with the local electricity company. When I lived in other place, in Inverness, it was all like Scottish Electric for my electricity and gas, and I was like about 120 a month. So yes, this is an eco-friendly alternative where we use chips, and we get instant access to heat and hot water. We don't need to run the taps usually. It is one of those things where it is almost doubled. And then food here is more expensive because the corner shop is like the monopoly of the island. Like again earlier I said, I rely on taxis to get home if I'm home late, or if I have shopping, or even if I'm just on a morning errand and the buses haven't arrived or I've just missed it but I need to get home. Say there's like an appointment I've got, then I need to get a taxi, and that can be about £10 one way, for a 2-minute taxi ride. So yeah, it all adds up, and this is the cost of disability to a degree. But yeah, if I had, say, like a higher benefit amount from Universal Credit or lower expenses every month, and I do what we spend our money on, then I could put all my disability towards a wheelchair in no time. I would be able to afford a car, like full outright. But it's one of those things where, yeah, our bills and things, and we've got debts that we're repaying as well. That all adds up. And trying to get things for the house, like we saved up, I think it was like a year we saved up for the freezer, the big chest freezer.
I need to.
Yeah,
Saving
it's the
for
best
a
thing we
fridge
ever got.
freezer is like a top priority at this point.
But then something happens where you have to use
The money you were saving.
that money for something else, and you've got a car, you've got, you live alone and things, like stuff that you need to pay for yourself. It does add up. We're lucky with Cobb where, he has a growth spurt and he doesn't really care what he wears. Like, he just wears whatever I get him. But I guess the point is actually going to a point where I'm cheaper buying online and getting it delivered than I am going to China, which is sad. But it's just the way things are going,
Things we have to do, isn't it? The quality of this is
Artic's put a message into general chat. The ramp in question, and it's like, is that an F1 racetrack?
It's NASCAR.
NASCAR. It's like one of the racetracks that goes up on an incline a little bit, so they can get speed. Yes, that's what the ramp would be like.
I was looking for a worse one off Top Gear where you were quite literally going up on a 90-degree angle.
Oh my god.
But yeah, it is one of those things. And like, that's something that does never get considered. Is they want us to have like dual responsibilities where there's two people together paying for things. Like, they want you to live like that, so they don't want people to live on their own, and so there's no support for people that live on their own. Like,
hey Presto, that's me.
Yeah, literally.
Like, all we get is a discount on our tax, council tax, and I'm like, that's all we get. That is all we get. And
it's a shame because at the end of the day, yes, you've probably got less expenditure because there's only one of you. But then you're probably spending the same, like if you're working, for example, for some people, like you're using electricity all day. You know, some people will get like they'll get a meal at work, or they get, you know, paid break or whatever it is. But like at home, like you're sorting your own meal out. All these things were found out during, like how expensive it can actually be to be working from home, even though you're saving money on the cost of driving to work, for example, and you're saving time.
That's now going on food and electricity.
Exactly, food, electricity. If you use gas in the home as well, so in some instances you have to have a special insurance to work from home. If you've got equipment, because you have to insure your equipment, because if that gets damaged, you're fucked.
Yeah.
You know, like I've got quite a high insurance on our home, because we've got our custom built PCs. I've got mobility equipment in the house. I've got, you know, we've got tellies in our rooms. We've got a couple of gaming consoles that we've bought over the years.
Why is telly in your room for?
Telly, get the fuck out.
Right. Scottish, I'm going to say this now. If you check general, I'm sorry in advance. I found it very funny. I had to.
Oh my god. Mate, honestly, that would actually be better than what I'm having to now, honestly.
It's not a bad idea, to be fair. Get a Tesco trolley. The
Just
way
get-
you want.
Tesco trolley.
Tesco trolley, you don't have to have a coin. Yeah, still one from Asda.
They've got the shittest battery life as well. Oh, Kim, because Arctic said men go bald with stress, and you take joy in stressing him out, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I know. So he's gonna go bald. We can get him away.
I mean, women are stressful, full stop. Let's not hide that fact. That's just because you guys don't understand what we're on about 90% of the time.
Or is it the other way round, where Kimmy's gonna go bald because Arctic is stressing Kimmy out?
And that probably too, but that's where the period thing came in, isn't it? Is we're probably
Right,
end up
yeah.
missing periods because
Right,
they're
yeah.
stressing at us out, because we don't understand them, and then we're stressing them out because they don't understand us. They go bald, we miss a period.
Arctic did not say that he stresses you out. It was me that said, I don't want him getting in trouble for what.
Oh no. Arctic says all the time, you stress him out in the
Arctic
nicest
will
way
not slap
possible.
on your ass, so.
The rage bait.
Rage bait. Do not rage bait
It's
Kimmy, she'll
there.
kill us all.
No, she'll just beat the shit out of me.
Honestly, you've got like 400 beatings waiting for you. We've lined them up, so don't worry.
Nah,
We
you
should
know
have heard
what?
what he was saying about you earlier. Oh my god.
Right, don't worry.
Let him continue saying whatever he's got to say. He's on server mute for a second, and yeah,
Like a 5,000 second mute.
been out for 10 years.
Oh man.
He loves you a lot, Kimmy. That's what he's saying. He loves you a lot. I'll take it.
Trungle.
He will not
Hello?
stop kissing your ass. Like,
Hello.
It's actually disgusting at this point.
God, she just text me. What have I got to text you?
Texts are all the vile things you've been.
As
I
he
have so much
should.
shit
I'm
on my phone.
fucking Mimmy. You
What
tell him,
the
Kimmy. You tell him.
fuck?
She's top tier.
I walk away from my phone from 10 minutes and we're fucking losing.
Aye, give up Kimmy while you can.
Fucking shite bag. I told Cub that whenever I'm on with you guys, my bedroom door has to be shut. And when I went for a pee, I went to go check on him because he was in bed. In bed already. And he's like, "Can you keep the door open, please?" Because he likes it when the doors are open. And I was like, "No, friends, but Daddy's dead." Okay. I just turned around and I closed the bedroom. He
You
comes through and
You're
He's-
clipping
I
out
closed the
quite
bedroom
a
door.
bit.
Oh, sorry.
I'm kind of getting what you're saying, but
I
I know
thought
what
that
you
was
mean.
me.
I know what you mean, but
Fucking pain in the ass.
I mean, it was doing it every now and then earlier. It's just gotten worse and worse as it's gone along to the point where I can't understand a sentence if I didn't know what she was on about. Bitch is gonna lose our TikTok streak. Oh, get on it, Artic.
Are you sure it's my mic and not just my accent?
Possibly both.
I was just saying that I keep my door closed when I'm on with you guys, because I'm in the bedroom. And Cub asked me earlier to keep my door open, and I said no, I'm on with my friends. I closed the bedroom door when I came through, and I just turned around and saw that the door was open. The little shitbag must have come through out of bed and opened the door.
Oh, bless him.
And I'm
What's
like, I
his
don't really
mama?
want you to hear me what I'm talking about in here.
Oh,
Thank
bless
you.
him.
But he likes, like, it doesn't matter if I'm watching my shows or whatever, he just likes to have the door open, so like,
Yeah.
like white noise kind of thing.
And he's got his mum.
Yeah.
Knows you're in
Mama.
reachable distance or shoutable distance.
Yeah, he
Oh,
can just yell at me
shit.
and just be like, Mom,
found
I
the
gotta
solution.
poo.
I have found the solution to all mobility scooter needs.
Oh my god.
Oh, God.
Honestly, that's something that the community here would fucking make if somebody needed it. It is absolutely. Oh my god.
What
Get a
the
lot more engine in that bitch.
On a turn of conversation, back to animals, really. I had a thing of I mean, this is positive on the fact of people getting prosecuted again. Florida will now be putting animal abusers on a public registry.
I heard about that.
That's amazing.
Yes.
That needed doing. That needs to be done.
That needed
Like
done
anyone
yesterday.
anyone that is an animal abuser should be known to everyone, and if anyone wants to abuse them, full rightfully.
Yeah. Listen, if you're gonna chain up the dog and kick it, I'm gonna chain you up and kick you.
Yeah.
Unless you're paying for
Oh,
it, in
yeah.
which case, you know.
Oh, I had to go on mute then. I've just found a picture and I'm laughing too hard at it. Oh my god. There's a guy moving at the speed of Mach fuck you on a jet-powered trolley.
Amazing what these estates
He's
make.
going that fast.
Fucking BBC News. That looks like the Stig from fucking Top Gear as well.
Probably
Stick
is.
from Top Gear. Wait.
Probably is, yeah.
Diggy Ray Cyrus.
Oh, I tell you what though.
Why
the
is that
Stig-
BBC News and all?
I know. Right, the Stig was actually my awakening into like helmets and masks.
Oh my god.
Oh, for fuck's
Oh
sake.
god. Oh,
Do
for
not
God's
ruin that
sake.
pic for me.
Poor
It
man.
was under that
God. You're gonna ruin Top Gear for me.
Good. Fuck Top Gear. Top
What?
Gear
No,
shit.
Top Gear was amazing.
Top Gear shit.
No, you're shit.
It just wasn't my cup of tea. It just wasn't my cup of tea. My dad watched that a lot, which is
Other
how
than
I ended
the
up watching it.
Stig, apparently.
Yeah, Stig was like
Yeah.
the highlight. If Stig wasn't on it, I was turning it off. Like,
If
He
you,
was on
didn't,
every episode.
if you didn't
Yeah.
enjoy Top Gear, you were watching Bottom Gear.
Yeah.
I'm not
Top
having
Gear
it.
was amazing.
She was
mean-
bottom gear for the Stig.
Every Sunday, me and
Whoa.
my dad, 8 o'clock, watch Top Gear.
I've
It's
never
such a
heard-
good-
Yeah, I used to watch Top
bonding
Gear
thing.
all the
Never
time.
heard
Me
of
and my
Bottom
dad
Gear.
watched it. It's
You've never heard of what?
I had
I've
a
never heard
crush
of
on-
Bottom Gear.
Yeah, who
Bottom Gear is
didn't?
the piss take version.
Who didn't like
I can
Richard
imagine.
Hammond? Did everyone watch that kids' TV show in the science lab with Richard Hammond?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cause I
100%.
fucking loved that.
Things
And
that
I
makes you
was-
go, hmm.
I was so devastated when he was in
Wait.
that car crash.
Teddy doesn't like Richard Hammond.
Who? What?
Who doesn't like Richard Hammond?
No one. I'm just saying who doesn't like Richard Hammond.
Oh, I thought you said
Because-
Teddy didn't like
Oh,
Richard
no.
I was
Hammond.
about to
I'm like,
send a hitman to
what?
Telly there.
I don't even
Yeah,
think
I'm
Telly
about
would
to,
know who
like,
he
go
is.
on
Actually, I don't. Yeah, no, actually, I don't know if Telly would even know who it is.
Telly.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, Tel said it's alright. I had a crush on Hammond as a kid. I'm like, who didn't used to love Richard Hammond as a kid? Like, I was obsessed with him in that
I love his
loud
hair.
silence one.
So you're all boring when Jeremy Clarkson was the better one.
Fuck Jamie
Oh,
Clarkson.
it's all about James May.
Yeah,
All
I
about
didn't
James
care for
May,
either
baby.
of those.
No, James May wasn't really like, I didn't really find him interesting either. It was like,
No, James May was
No
fucking
one.
hilarious though.
James May's
James
hilarious.
May's
He's just
like,
always known as the boring
you're
one.
like your granddad's uncle type thing, and you're like,
No, James May
Cool.
is hilarious. Right, I want you to. What it was
Cheat.
on Amazon Prime, I think. Right, James May goes around Japan and like just experiences like a bunch,
yeah, he is
like
very wholesome.
the- a bunch of different places in Japan. Right, he gets this robot, and it's supposed to like help him out, like navigating stuff around Japan. And he's trying to like, it's like, what is your name? And he's like, James May, and the robot goes, Bing, Bing. And it just sets him off. He starts fucking laughing so hard. He's like, Bing, we are going in. It's just like,
Oh my
so
God.
funny.
Oh.
That show, was like, oh my god, one of the best things he's ever done.
What was the one? There was like a 3 of them. Gino DeCampo, was it like 2 of the chefs went around traveling the world?
Oh, Harry Bikers.
No, Harry Bikers was in Newcastle Boys. Gino DeCampo was like an Italian chef. Was he doing it with like?
Did he do it with Gordon Ramsay
I think it was
and
Gordon Ramsay.
Oh, good. I just heard 2 chefs. so I was
Ramsay,
like,
Gino,
Harry
and another
Bikers.
Harry Bikers
Right.
were fab. I loved them.
Oh,
Mm.
it
man,
was
they were-
Gino
they're
DeCampo,
amazing.
Gordon Ramsay, and I can't remember the
Yeah.
other one.
Is his name Gino?
Gino, I'm gonna look up Gino DeCampo.
And a French man.
Yeah, that shit was fucking hilarious. That was so funny.
Tour with Gordon Ramsay. Oh my god, they were so fucking funny because he'd always tease Gordon Ramsay with like really camp things and
Yeah.
like proper like ooh.
Of course, we forget the French one.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, do you know what?
My
No,
grandmother had
'cause
wheels,
I like
would
the
have been a
French
bike.
one. I like he was fit.
Yeah. If my grandma had wheels, she would have been a bike.
I don't even know how to pronounce his name.
Oh.
Sirio? I put it into
Just
chat.
in general.
I put it. It's in chat. Rex.
Oh, did you croissant man?
Fred. I say Sir X.
Yeah, just Fred. Just
And
Fred.
that's been pinned.
Croissant.
I'm getting that put on a t-shirt.
One on titty croissant, man. For God's sake.
How do I change the timer on that?
Yeah, they were really funny because they did all sorts of bits and bobs together and like tried different cuisine and different ways of cooking, and it was just absolute fucking chaos because Gordon's quite a serious fan, right? He's usually quite a serious, or known to be serious.
Yeah.
Gino is anything but, and the French guy was just fit, so like it worked for me.
Oh, there was the one where like they were tasting like weed brownies or something,
What?
and fucking, yeah, like it was.
There's
them three, and
an
they were, like,
air episode.
I don't know if it was that show, but it was them 3, and they were like eating some food infused with like marijuana, right? And or oil or something. I can't remember what it, right? But it was marijuana something, and Gino had like so much of it, and he got fucked up. And then like slow down, and he's like, "No, I'm good, you know."
I'm
He's
What
sorry.
the fuck?
fucked. I'll have to find it. I'll find it after stream. Oh, it's so funny.
When you said that, I thought you were about the Top Gear one where Jeremy just pulls out hard candy cannabis or whatever it was on one of the
Yeah.
special. And he said, and they were just having that like grape rum or whatever it was.
Oh my god.
How about now? Rum.
I can't remember what alcohol
Love
it
that
was,
rum.
but it was grape infused something, and James May was down in it all.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
They're just too
And
funny.
then they
old
wonder
men,
why
aren't
they're
they?
like going on a bad trip when it's just fucking like it's just THC. It's just like the basic shit. But they've just scoffed a lot and somehow they're having a whitey.
Jesus.
Excuse me.
Oh,
He was
that's so
eating it
funny.
all. Oh my god. Oh.
How the hell we got to that from that, I will never know.
This
Back
is what
onto
I said
subject
when-
of food.
This is what I said to Artie when you two were on your piss break. I was like, well, I said, stream, you get to hear my sexy voice for a bit whilst they're gone. I don't know how we got to these subjects, but apparently we did.
This is it, we just end up on a tangent of like randomly down a
I feel like
spiral
we're
somewhere.
all like ADHD riddled in some way or another, so like
Yeah.
it's very
Oh,
easy to
yous
bounce
are.
off of each other. Yeah, oh Pom and I are 100%.
I'm just a mix of everything.
When we play
I can go doctors
Soul
for a
Frame.
test, and the results are just going to be yes.
100% idiot.
Oh.
I might just try and diet down a bit for the streams.
I don't. Makes it funnier.
I'm
I will
just-
never say anything bad enough.
oh. The whole entire time I've had to try not to say anything about this game. I have died so many times. I have shot so many wrong shots. And internally screamed a few times.
Nice.
But it's okay. Now, this news, I was fact checking news as I was going along reading these things. And it's and with most of these is the fact that they were claiming the bee population are recovering thanks to the ban on pesticides and conservation efforts. Now, yes, it is improving, but not enough is what they've been saying. So it's been apparently the UK and America are the worst improvements, where Europe is doing amazingly apparently, because they have banned more pesticides, I think, and more. But apparently, because they've banned pesticides, they've been using a different type of pesticide, but it's pretty much still a pesticide. So they're trying to get away with it being like, oh, we don't use pesticides, but there's this thing that's basically the same as a pesticide that you're using. But apparently signs of bird population have increased as well, which suggests the reduction in toxic insects that have been exposed to the pesticides and stuff like that. So again, that's another good thing in relation to the bees, because obviously if the bees are doing well, birds are doing well, animals, insects are doing well. Wild bees are the UK's strugglers at the moment, where we need to try and promote more wild bees, not just honeybees, but they're our pollinators. And that's where we're suffering, is we haven't got enough of the pollinators, the wild bees going around doing their thing, unfortunately.
Yeah, there's a lot about I've seen a lot of like people doing the bee rescues, and they're trained and everything, but a lot of it is honeybees that are being rescued, and I really don't feel like there's enough attention on like, the generic bees.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Is everyone went hard on honeybees, but didn't really think about the pollinators, the generic bees, the wild bees.
Have you seen the bee lady on TikTok?
I've seen so many of them. I love them. There's one that doesn't wear a suit at all. I'm like, you're mad.
Yeah, I
She
think
like
that's
to
the
be
one I'm
stronger
talking
something.
about. So there's this one girl. She's absolutely beautiful, but she's
Well,
got a thing. Like at the end of a video, she's like, "And that's the day of me saving the bees," and I'm just like,
Yes.
"Yes, I love you.
I love her.
Save the bees.
I could listen to her for ages. Oh,
Oh my
love it.
god.
But who would have thought Asia is one of the best places for saving the bees?
I mean, I feel like a lot of like I guess a lot of the countries in outside the world, I feel like, I mean, there are different levels across the world, but I feel like there's a lot more of, I want to say, like seriousness when it comes to
Things going
like
extinct.
like eco stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
like eco-friendly stuff. Like I mean, there could be a lot more still to be done across the entire
I need
world.
to like I've been holding my tongue like the whole time because I don't want to get into
God.
like politics and all that bullshit. But it's just like we're so like Britain and America and all that as a people we're so divided on things, and it's
Yeah.
just it affects everything. And I think this is one of the things it affects, you know, because people are just like, why should I care about bees? Or why should I care about this? And
We
so
need
I
to
don't
help
want
each
to
other
like
out
linger
more.
on. Yeah, I don't want to linger on that topic too much because it's a positivity one. But yeah, we just need to like help each other more and like
But you're
be
still
more
like,
understanding.
mate, get a fucking grip.
Yeah, get a grip, man.
Grow up.
Jesus.
Where does food come from? Supermarket. Shut
The
up.
supermarket.
It does.
It does.
It just
It's from
spawns
shelf in
in.
shop. It's spawned there.
It comes from shelf to shelf. It's spawned there. It's a
Tal.
5-minute wait time. Then it'll restock.
Tal, in Bee Movie, if I was the bee, I would do her too. I'm not gonna lie. Everyone
I've not
refers to
watched the
Bee.
B movie, right?
Oh,
And
it's so funny.
so I need to because of the memes and everything. But
Oh, I
fuck,
fucking
does
loved
this
B movie
bee
back in the day.
end up fucking a woman? Like, what the fuck is going on?
I mean, obviously they don't full on, but there
Like
is like
jazz.
Yeah, I
a
know,
romantic
but, like,
innuendo here, but like. It's like,
Like
it's a children's
jazz.
movie, and they're talking about like
how is she
interspecies,
falling in
like,
love with a bee?
romance. I don't know. Well, because her man's an asshole.
Oh, fair.
I'm laughing because I'm like, all the men out there, if you're an asshole, your missus is gonna fall in love with a bee.
He's gonna
Get your shit
leave
together.
you for a fucking bee.
Yeah.
You like jazz?
Fucking imagine. You like jazz.
I fucking love B movie. Again,
man.
sense of community. Stick together, they got so much further than if they did it all on their own.
That's it. It's like there are many things that yes, I understand people wanting to be solitary. Like Bear and I are massive hermits. Like we don't have. Well, Bear has in real life friends. I don't really, because I find it difficult around me to connect with people who have the same ideals. I feel like for me, there's a lot more pressure when there are people in my real life who maybe live nearby or whatever. But with people online, I find it easier to be able to dip in and out and just be like, okay, I may not agree with their perspective on like if there's like another parent, maybe I don't agree with their parenting technique, but it's not doing any harm. I'm like, okay, that's fine. But I don't know what it is. It just feels, I don't know if it's just my personality, but it's like if I meet somebody and they're like, oh yeah, we do like the naughty corner, for example, which I don't believe in. I'm then like struggling to push myself into socializing because I'm like, that's in my brain. Like that's in the back of my mind that I don't believe in that. And it's not necessarily like a deal breaker, but there are little things like that that can sort of, I don't know, affect connections for me.
Kelly is so like that. He's honestly so much like that. Like
Yeah,
if there'll
it's
be
little
like
things.
one thing, like not to say he'll completely disregard him, but we've had this with like him meeting my friends. Now there's things where I'll be like, oh, that's just them though. Like I don't think of it personally. I don't take any of it personally. And like it doesn't bother me because I've known them that long anyway. But for someone walking into the situation and then trying to make friends with them, he's like, well, I don't agree with that, so they can go fuck off.
Yeah,
I'm
it
like,
can be jarring.
and then he's like, well, now I've got to see him, socialise them and be bezies with them because I'm moving down here. And I'm like, oh no, you're going to find your own friends, but it helps if you like my friends too.
Well, that's it. You need to have your own separate, little circles.
This
Like
is
Bairn and I
it.
are like that even online. Like, we've got a lot of the same friends online, but we also have other like streamers that we pop into every now and again, separate from each other. Like with Panda, for example. Like, I've introduced you to Panda, and you guys seem to get along nice.
Yeah.
The Panda's energy isn't usually what like Bear's into. Like, and the games that she plays isn't what Bear's into. But like with yourself, Pom, like Bear likes spending time with you on games. So like
Yeah.
that's the connection. My connection to Panda is just I met her online and we clicked. And that's just the end of it.
Yeah.
But it's like Bear's happy for me to bugger off, and if I'm going off and modding for Panda and he's off doing his own thing on his stream, it just we've got our own separate things going on.
That's it.
But yeah, and I think again that boils down to the social etiquette, taking into consideration that not all brains are the same.
Yeah.
Like I made it very clear how I thought of Bear's friend when I first started dating with him. And there's one of his friends that was just an absolute dickhead, like misogynistic, the whole 9 yards. Like, he was cheating on any of his partners that he was with.
Oh.
And I was like, why are you friends with this guy? And he's like, I've known him since high school.
Yeah.
And like, we reconnected in adulthood, and we've just stayed. Like, we've gone through so much together. Like, before I started dating him, they went through so much together. They lived together. Like, they've been best mates. And it's like, there are some things that people will naturally overlook.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is up to them as a grown adult. That is up to them. And that's why that wasn't a deal breaker for me with Bear, because we were dating and we were happy, and I knew that, like, I was comfortable that he wasn't going to go off and cheat on me just because his mate was doing it.
Yeah.
So it's like we had that, comfort with each other. But I tell you what, I was so happy when he ditched him. He stopped
They'd be
talking,
like,
and I was
it's
like,
okay, babe.
like,
It'll
I was
be
supporting him, and I
fine.
felt for him because
Don't
that
fuck
was
that
his
up.
best mate. Like, and his best mate's from the island, so he was, supposed to come and visit us. But every time he came through, he wouldn't even text. So it was like, I think Bear was kind of getting a bit fed up, but he's got his friends here. He's got two other friends he went to high school with, and he's connected with them so much better, and they're really nice guys. It's just one of those things. One of them doesn't really look me in the eye, but I think he's just generally awkward.
Oh.
His kids go to school with Cub. Like, they're older, but like they go to school together. And I'll see him when I'm doing pickup, and I'll be like, oh, hi, and he's like, oh. And I know it's not me personally. It's just an awkward guy.
It's just, I hate eye contact. I really need to push myself. I've been doing it better, but I need to. People find it as me being rude. I'm really not. I just hate awkward eye contact.
Yeah. And it's
I can't even
that
do
thing
it with
that
like my best friends.
it's me. It's me learning. It's not a me thing. He's just an awkward weirdo. Bear loves hanging out with them. They have great crack, apparently. They go play pool and whatever.
Oh.
And that's great. I love that. But I don't feel the need to be friends with the guy, so I guess that's a bonus. But yeah, and there's games that I play that Bear isn't too fussed about, and it's just whatever. You have your own individualities. There people will have their line.
It's just like, as you were saying earlier, about having to put up with some certain things, or like when you're in situations where you're like, do I have to? I don't want to.
Yeah.
They give me
I
bad
think
vibes.
I'm done with that. I feel like I'm at that point where I'm like, it's easier for me
To say
have
no.
online friends. Yeah, and it's easier for me to have online friends because I just log off and that's that.
Yeah.
Whereas I think with somebody who lives like around the corner from me, if I had a friend,
You
it's
can't
like,
just get rid of them that easily.
yeah, it's like I feel. I mean, I had a falling out with my neighbor who lives 2 doors down because she's a racist, and that's not. I'm not a racist, and that obviously clashes. So, but she lives 2 doors down, so we still have to be civil. But like, I'm not close to her. Like, I had plans to go for coffee with her and go on trips to the north end of the island where she goes for walks and things, and like that was my deal breaker. That was my hard line, and that was that. But like,
Yeah.
if it was online and somebody was racist in my headset, I'd be like, all right, fuck you, block.
Yeah, usually like,
it's
yeah, I'm
easier.
done. Thank you. Bye.
See you later. But again, it comes down to like social etiquette as well.
Then also, like, you can be
understanding.
really good friends with someone, then like as you say, you can put up with those little things easier because
Yeah.
they're online, but you can still be as good at friends with them online as you would in real life.
Well, that's it. And I'm like that with like there's Kitty that I'm friends with. I've been friends with her for I want to say like 2 years now, and like we hadn't messaged in months until recently when I found out on her Discord. Unfortunately, her second cat had passed away.
Oh.
So that's both her babies gone. And I was like, holy shit! Like I've just been in my own world. I've had my own shit going on. And I messaged her, and it was like no time had passed at all, and it was really, really, really nice. And I think that's just what I need is like
Yeah.
somebody that can just like we can just pick up and drop things as we go, but like there's no feeling about it, you know. There's no
Yeah,
pressure.
neither of you are bothered first or anything like that.
Yeah.
It makes
I'm like a bear.
change. Yeah, well, yeah.
Like we're together 24/7, but with the week that I had my sore back, I think it was 2 weeks he was in Cub's room because I needed the space to be able to move in our bed.
Yeah.
And it was I hadn't seen him for like he would bring me like my green tea and some food, but that was it. It was like when I finally managed to go downstairs properly for the first time, we had so much to catch up on because we'd barely talked in the time that I was upstairs trapped in bed.
Oh.
So it was quite nice. It just be like, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. I could easily text him, but I was like, I forgot to tell you this. Oh, this has been going on, and did you hear about this and whatever else from like whatever show I'm watching or whatever. And it's just like two besties just catching up over a glass of
Oh,
wine.
that's so cute.
I can't see any. I don't think I have any other good news things. I'm just looking. at my
Mine was
list.
random that I've not been able to associate to anything else.
No,
But,
it's been completely random tonight.
I have Egypt's defeated malaria after 100 years of struggling.
Nice.
And I'm like, that's just a big achievement. Big up.
That's
Like,
massive.
well to them.
Yes.
So,
Lady?
Can't I can't find the video, but I wanted to send
oh yeah, you wanted
video
me to send you
earlier.
something.
Yeah, but I'll just explain it, and it made me cry. I'm
Oh,
not even
God.
gonna lie, it made me cry. So this little girl, she was like, she'd gotten out of hospital. She looked about 2-3 years old, something like that, and so she was like, she got in home and she was walking down like her hall, and it just, oh man, she just got out of hospital and because she had just beaten cancer, right?
Oh.
And so her little feet were patting and she was running along, and her brother and sister were just a bit older. They're about like 6. It looked about like 6 years old, 5, 6, something like that. And they hadn't seen each other for, it was something like 7, 8 months, something like that. And so they finally was like reunited and everything. And the brother went in for a hug. He was like smiling and stuff, hugged her, and then he just started crying. And then the sister started
Aw.
crying, and I started crying. I was like, oh my god! I really felt like I put myself in their shoes, and I was like, this is adorable and sad and happy and everything. I just felt all the emotions all at once, and I was like, fuck me, why is social media like showing me those videos?
Ban
It was
social
like-
media for Trungle.
Yeah, it was like early in the morning as well. I just woke up and I'm like seeing this
Oh,
video and
that
I'm
is the worst.
crying. And I'm like, oh my god, that was the cutest thing in the world. My God.
The one
It's
thing
crazy.
I really got into, like, it's referred to as, I think, like feel-good porn or whatever it is, right? And it's literally just like basic videos of people having like really
Happy
good luck or
moments.
whatever. Yeah, happy
Mm.
moments. One that I really got into, it was actually a wee bit after Bear had proposed to me. I was getting videos on my algorithm about people getting engaged and like people having like they're like announcing to their family in lovely ways that they're engaged and they're save the date and whatever. But then I got onto the side of it where it was like so traditionally, obviously, the father walks the daughter down the aisle, and at the time, my dad was dealing with the possibility of MS, and
Mhm.
it was like our relationship was already whatever. But I was like, I still want my dad to walk me down the aisle. Like it's still something I want to experience, and that was that. I was dealing with my own mobility issues as well, so we were like, I was like, how is that going to work? And the algorithm spoke to me, and it was like videos or clips of like with this caption like they told him he'd never walk again, but he managed to walk one final time down the aisle.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my god, he walked down the aisle with the door. And I was, oh, the amount of times I'd be in absolute fucking tears. Like, oh. And this was after way after I'd had cubs, so I can't even blame pregnancy hormones. Many times I was like in absolute tears over this fucking video of just this guy getting out of his wheelchair, walking his little girl down the aisle, and like properly being able to experience that. But then I was like, there's other videos that was quite cute, where like dad is meant to give the bride away, but there's some instances where there's a couple of videos I saw where the bride was pushing the dad's wheelchair down the aisle, and he was holding the bouquet. So like the exchange
Making a funny joke of it.
usually it's like she's got her arm looped around his, and then they exchange a kiss, and he hands her off to the groom.
Yeah.
But in some situations it's like they would like she would pass her dad over to mum in the pews, like in the chairs. Like he take his chair and he'll pass the bouquet, and then they'll exchange a kiss. And it was quite cute how they kind of adapted to that.
Yeah.
There's so many times I was like, oh my god, he's walking. Ah!
Like you make it work, don't you? With whatever
Yeah.
scenario faces you, you make
got
it
to.
work.
I think I'm just gonna have Cub walk me down the aisle, if I'm quite honest with you. Like
Half the time it's just easier.
because my dad's not my life anymore. I don't have any real I don't have any like male figures in my life, and it's not like I'm not fussed about that tradition. It just would be nice to have that with my dad.
Yeah.
But I have seen situations where like a lot of couples have already had kids before they've gotten married, so it's like the son takes on that, I guess, that responsibility, and walks mum down the aisle to dad, and gets to be like the ring bearer or whatever. I think
Yeah.
that's quite cute.
My best friend had her granddad walk down there.
That's adorable.
It was very cute.
I love that.
She was like, that's the best figure I've had in my life, other than
Yeah.
her grandma. So granddad was the best.
Yeah.
He fit the bill.
Yeah, it just depends on who you have in your life, and I believe in family being chosen. So
Yeah.
it's not
yeah.
always blood. So it just depends on who you have. There is such a thing as I don't want to say it's rent a parent, but it's like
Oh
this
yeah,
thing
I
in
think I know what
America.
you mean.
Yeah, there's this thing in America where
Can have like an old
Obviously-
man just walk you down the aisle.
yeah, you can literally have a parent for your wedding, or like
Yeah.
it was a thing in a lot of like LGBT groups that I joined on Facebook before, like ages ago.
Ah.
People were getting married, and there were like a lot of people in the community were realizing that their parents weren't even going to attend the wedding
Yeah. So they didn't want
for
nothing.
various reasons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is sad, and I don't think it should be the case for any family, but that's just how the world is sometimes. And some people were like, there's been situations where literal strangers on Facebook like DM me, I'm in your area, I will come to your wedding, and I will And it's
Oh,
usually like
God.
older folk. Like it's literally older folk in the queer community that are like, I will be your mother for the day. I will be your father for the day.
It's
Like
crazy.
and it's so funny because I've seen photos of some weddings where it's like this lovely older gentleman is walking this lovely lady down the aisle, this lovely person down the aisle, and the smiles on their faces is amazing, and it's a whole experience for them. Some of these people walking down the aisle don't actually have kids themselves, so it's a different experience for them.
Yeah, they may have wanted to give their
Yeah.
child away, but they never had children.
Well, that's it. Some people just don't have that,
Yeah.
you know, in their lives in general. So
Yeah, that's true.
it's just nice to see.
Very good,
I don't see
good way
videos
of
like
putting
that.
on it.
Yeah.
And on that note, I think we should go to bed.
I'm seeing that fucking pinned message again.
After I keep looking over and see. I try to fucking ignore it.
Oh my god.
There's so many
My
times
mom's
I've looked
knackered.
over trying. I am so freaking tired.
I can hear it in your voice.
Yeah, and there's just a certain point I just shut off. That's it.
Thank you.
It's been fun.
It has been.
And hopefully many
It's
more
actually
chit chatty conversations.
Yes.
Anyway,
Very soon.
good night, everybody.
Good night, my friends.
And I will see everyone.
See you tomorrow.
Oh, yeah,
Bye.
see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Goodbye, guys. Make sure you check out the Discord. For those that have access, check out the Discord where we can carry on many conversations just like this. If you want to see, obviously normally I would be playing games. If you want to see highlights and clips, it's not TikTok, it's socials. If you want to see highlights and clips of games I would normally, then check out the TikTok and YouTube shorts as well. On YouTube, I do posts of games that I'm up to. See if we've got a podcast one. I think we have. Check out the podcast, where you will find this chit chat we've had today. Plenty of other subjects and topics we discussed many moons ago. And hopefully this is gonna be a new fun era. If you have any topics of conversations you'd like to talk about, then make sure you let us know either in the comments of the YouTube video or over here or in Discord. Thank you everyone, and I will see everyone tomorrow for some Fazbear fun. See everyone then. Good night. Goodbye.